Alright, give it a second. It says we're live again. Okay, now we're back. We got it fixed.
You just need to share your... Oh wait, you're doing that on...
Test,
Are you
test.
streaming your face and you're not streaming in Discord, or how you...
Yeah, I'm gonna be on YouTube, but you can't see me on Discord. So you have to watch me on YouTube, and it'll be probably a little bit delayed. Because I can't use my camera.
You could see Discord? You could see me on Discord, or you hear me on Discord? Your stream?
Both.
Okay, good.
Alright, so... What were we talking about? Yeah, so last podcast, I fucked it up royally. Nobody complained, so I just decided to quit. When the pandemic hit last year, I was doing like a video every day for like 6 months or 9 months or something. So I did so many videos, I guess I kind of got burnt out. I mean, I didn't really. I just kind of like got lazy. Didn't really want to. Like last year, I was out recording my mushroom videos and stuff. This year, I went out. I found mushrooms again. I got some pictures of them. I think I posted them on Facebook and some of my groups I'm in, but didn't really do any GoPro videos of it. I've been going to a lot of baseball games. Just at one this morning. So, I've been doing stuff. A lot of people, I guess, thought I died or something.
Yeah, and I've been working more as well. I got laid off at one of the jobs I got, but then I got more hours at another one when I asked for it, and I got a raise. So, like, one door closes, another opens kind of thing.
I had a couple of weeks getting laid off. It's pretty sweet. Last week, I could have gotten laid off, but I decided to be the guy that stayed and worked where everybody else got laid off. So I guess next time I'll get laid off. But it's like, oh, let me see what's going on in the chat here. Gato said this answered your mushroom hunting videos. Andrew, can you hear me now? Oh, was that before? I think I'm on a different one. I'm looking at the old live stream. Hang on, let me get this one up. Okay, now I can read the chat. Yeah, so I think man is not meant to work every day, 5 days a week. I think working a week and being off a week is like a pretty good rotation, because you get to where you feel like, nah, I'm ready to go back to work, and then you work about a week, like, yeah, I could be off again. It's like,
yeah, I've been finding that because I was working for a couple months there, 3-4 months, and I was working like every single day on call. I'll be sitting here playing video games, have to like, I have to go to work, drop everything I'm doing. But then
my chair is way too loud, by the way. I've got to get a new chair, but I'm fat, so I got to get like a special chair for fat people. It doesn't fall apart.
You work too much, you get all worn out, and then you don't work as efficiently as much because you're...
Do you ever think about how much time you waste, like 8 hours of sleep and then 8 hours at work? So like you really only spend like a third of your life doing stuff you enjoy, except for the weekends, which you're also sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I found that I was kind of almost like killing myself because I was playing games too much, because I was trying to like work. Then it's like, well, I can survive without that much sleep, and I just play some video games, and then, or you know it, you're like, I can't compete, can't keep this shit up. Like when I was a kid, could, but not anymore.
So I had a bunch of supernatural shit I wanted to talk about, but I kind of forgot most of it.
Some alien stuff going on, like the U.S. military is supposed to release some sort of thing talking about, like the Pentagon requested it, and I don't know if it's just, theatrics or whatever, but...
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about those Navy videos again. Like the 3 videos that's like... Used to be you search for UFO videos, there was all kinds of stuff you would see, it would pop up on YouTube. And then these 3 Navy videos took over, and now that's all you see. It's almost like no other UFO videos ever existed before or something.
Yeah. Like Joe Rogan's talked about this a bit. Had experts on there. Neil deGrasse Tyson was like very much like... he believed that it was like the sensor had to be malfunctioning. But it's like... they said they had a spotter, and he's like, well, that's not good enough. It's like, well, okay, maybe he's not on board with it, or it to be as fast as it said, but who's to say it wasn't like another country, or even like another secret new project that that even the U.S. government's working on, and they're just like, yeah, well, in like 10 years from now, we'll declassify it and let you know it's just another like thing. It's a BMF bomber or what are the current like stealth jet. People thought that was a UFO before, right?
Oh yeah. There was that one we talked about last time, right? The triangular shaped one that they declassified.
And then there's like these new rockets that have like this. The Russians were bringing out these new kinds of rockets that are supposed to be. They're like intercontinental ballistic missiles but they're like supposed to be. They're like a weird shape if you can look them up. They almost look like they used like alien technology to come up with this. Because it creates like the air is funneled through the front part of the rocket and it is channeled into like a combustion point. It makes it go even faster. And it's like insane. I forget what it was called, but Russia was parading it around and talking about it and this and that. And it made me wonder, it's like, because it can't be in the United States, it's the only place that gets UFOs. And Russia is like a huge area.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are saying the aliens like are under the ocean, and then they come out.
The ocean or Russia's deepest lake is another one I heard about. It's like because their deepest lake goes to the point where it starts interacting with like lava down there. There's like sulfur vents under. I don't know why they thought there might be aliens down there, but they've done like scanning of the lake bed, and they saw some objects down there. But when they went to go investigate them, then the militaries wouldn't tell the press anything. But their country's pretty restricted as is. So
speaking of the ocean, they were talking about on my cryptid Reddit I follow, the Loch Ness monster. They were talking about like which cryptids are more likely to be real and stuff. And I was looking at the Loch Ness monster thing. Like if you notice this, I'm gonna put this on YouTube. I guess you can't watch it on Discord, but. Here's a map of Loch Ness area, right? You see that?
I'm looking on your stream. Let me just a second.
Here's Scotland, right?
Did you post it in Discord at all?
No.
Okay, I'm waiting for the stream to catch up.
Can I stream on Discord, like my screen at the same time?
You might be able to. There we go.
Yeah, okay, that'll work. Yeah, you see this? You watching my stream on Discord?
Yeah, I'm watching both here.
Do you see Scotland here? How do I get the satellite view? There we go. Are you following me?
Yeah, I'm watching both.
Yeah, did you realize Scotland is made up of like kind of like two big islands? Like there's this line that cuts it in half, like right through here. That's where like the ocean's here. It comes through the Moray Firth, through Inverness, and then you got the Loch Ness, and just a big straight line lake. I guess Loch means lake, maybe.
Yeah. The
Loch,
got
like Loch Loki.
Loch Madon.
Loch Lucky.
Loch Madon.
Oh, look at all the rivers they like spiral out from the lake. That's like there's so many of them in a row.
Well, they actually probably bleed into the lake and not away from it.
Oh, these are like mountains then.
Yeah, because you can see the height.
Oh, yeah, it's so straight though. Scotland's weird.
And like, it's not even that big of an area, so I'd assume that's why people live like. Because look how to the south, and look how big.
But you can totally see like something coming through the currents. I don't know how the currents flow, but like the ocean.
Yeah,
and stuck in
during
here,
a storm or something.
like back in dinosaur times, and getting stuck in here.
Yeah, stuck up. It's really
or
not.
Maybe
even
they
that
just
big.
flow in and out. Maybe they just like come through there like the whales like travel through certain places. And then they come out this side, and then they take off. But they only come above the water in Loch Ness. That's how they got spotted or something. That would make sense.
Actually, never looked at the Loch Ness until you pointed it out, and it's kind of like. Yeah, it's just a straight lake that's stuck between the...
A bunch of other little side lakes.
Why is that one? Because it's the biggest?
Loch Monar. That sounds like a Warcraft lake. Looks like a dragon too.
Loch Ramadan.
Let me see if I can find this place we did on the last podcast. See. I think it was in Namibia, wasn't it? The salt mines we found?
Oh yeah, there was huge fucking salt mines. They all look like they had toxic waste dumps everywhere.
How high up were we when I first spotted it? Can't believe I lost that.
They're mining for, said salt or like all these other things we put in our phones.
I just found it by accident. Yeah, it's kind of like this right here. I think this is a different one. It's fucking massive strip mining going on.
Yeah, they're mining all the precious minerals for to make phones and shit probably. Look at that whole area, it's just nothing but...
And then all of a sudden there's like a ton of shit.
We're looking up resorts, and there's like resort shit nearby with like nice hotels and shit in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like probably catering to these people who work these mines, but...
Or human traffickers.
Yeah, probably.
That'd be a great way to fuck kids. Like get out in the middle of fucking Botswana. Who would fucking look for
You're literally in the middle of nowhere, there's probably no cops out there or something. Even if you did call the cops, they're like, okay, we'll be there in like 6 hours.
Or if you wanted to test alien ships, like take it out in Africa. Yeah. As fast as they probably go, it'd be easy to just head over.
Watching my dude, I watch Aqua Chigger.
Yeah.
And he was talking about he went down to the M cave. He was looking for the M cave that supposedly some other guy that was looking for aliens.
This one, dude. This looks like some shit from an alien planet. It's so crazy. It's all red like Mars, like even it's purpley. It's like one of those warlock areas in Warcraft with all the demon shit.
It looks like an iron mine or something.
Like this is
it's like all rust and
this is a fell corrupted zone right here. The
green,
this is the Klendatu. This is where the portal opened up and some of the aliens spilled out.
Looks like the blasted lands.
We trapped them, sealed off the portal. But we had some kind of alien ore. It was leftovers residue. We've been mining it.
Well, look at those tailing ponds. Look at those colors.
It's so red and purpley. Sishin iron ore mine. This is iron? Oh, I guess that makes sense. Iron's
it's all rusted.
I guess this is where all the steel in the world comes from.
Well, can't you look up the areas like the ship-breaking places in India? Where they just like have these giant...
I just searched for mine. Oh, there we go.
There you go, looks all the mines.
Let me zoom out. Search again. Oh, oh shit. Let's get out of there. I don't want to see that. I'm trying to look for African mines.
So much Africa is
what was it? Basalt
wasteland.
Mine or something?
Salt?
Salt. Oh shit. The solar array. Look at all that. Is that what that is?
Yeah. I think so.
Wow. What is that, dude? Like fucking spirally thing into a black hole of nothingness?
Mine probably.
Wolverhampton Lodge. Man, Africa's weird.
Yeah, there's so much there that's just kind of like empty wasteland full of resources. But like the blasted lands or the bad lands from WoW.
Anyway, one of the things I was going to show you. This thing right here. Let's see how this looks on camera. This is a guy named Erwin Saunders. Now, I'm pretty sure this is all fake, so don't get your hopes up. But he kind of looks like that mushroom guy, Paul Stamets. He's looking for pixies in the UK. If you watch this ledge, like watch right around here. I think he's a CGI artist or something. Because if you search for his name, it comes up like another guy's name.
Oh, sorry about that. He was doing it. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, because so many things are like fake bullshit. I see like whatever that is moving around back there. It kind of looks like a squirrel or something.
What's the resolution so shit on it? There we go. Let's try this again. Watch him come out.
Okay. It's
There he is.
there.
Yeah, now he kind of looks like a marionette doll walking around the way he does.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
at least we've got a shot of
There he is.
There he is.
There he is. How do you say me, old man?
He's got these little sticks that he says they carry. I think he must have carved them himself.
So,
Like some of his videos, he don't find any
sunny
pixies.
yesterday. There was a sandwich in there which is gone.
To the one he's like, oh, this one's a pixie.
He just
Well,
wastes
because
time. Like
left
just
in
the
there.
videos where nothing happens, but like
40 minutes.
that's why I thought it was
It's
legit.
completely
Because why would somebody?
just do an illustration. Haven't seen anything. It's been about,
It's a
about
secret
an
to
hour and a
everybody,
half,
it seems.
since,
Like this one, nothing
since the last
happens. I
video.
don't think.
I savoured the
He's like,
last
I'm looking for
flying saucer
pixies, and I've seen them before.
There's one of them that was like he went in this cave and a worm, he calls it, came out like a big lizard.
Worm
Like this
came out of
one?
a big.
So,
That's what I was just looking at. Yeah.
it's not sunny.
Promise, like he's in like a woodland
Yeah, there he
forest.
is, right there. Fuck.
So that's it for today. Waiting here for about.
There he is.
Coming out.
It's the
Fucking
same thing from before. It
Why
looks
don't
like a
leave the quality
a
on
root or
720p.
Been waiting here for about.
yeah, right there.
Oh.
It looks like the same fucking thing. It looks like Groot from Baby Groot from.
Mini
So,
Groot.
that's it for today.
You know what I mean?
I think this might have got recommended on a bunch of people's videos, and the man have just discovered them or something. Is this the one I watched where it had? Man, look at that every time. 144p by default.
I'm up on the ridge where he was. He was just slightly down there. I've been sort of going up and down trying to find any tracking. Just looking for bats. Sometimes get
Oh, is this the one? Yeah. Watch right here. Watch right here.
right,
Fucking lizard.
there's something there. Okay, it's,
He thinks it's like a worm with a Y, like a dragon thingy. I mean,
It
I'm
is
sure it
kind
is
of
like CGI'd to
Wait,
shit.
it kind of almost looks like he's been in areas where you've been.
Yeah,
yeah, this is a lot
it's
nicer.
like the UK version of me being a druid in the woods. Just gonna pop some pixies on YouTube, no big deal. There was one really clear one. I don't remember which video it was. Maybe it's this one.
But there's plenty of places for them to see me whilst hiding in the crevices of the rocks. And
Oh, here's his stick. He says they use these to like get the mushrooms that are a little bit too high up.
they
It
use
looks
that for
like totally
hooking,
something he fucking put on there.
you know, berries or mushrooms or things that are too high up for them to reach. They'll just
It's these mushrooms.
leave these like there.
He was
These-
demonstrating it with these little mushrooms,
The
and he's like,
mushrooms.
"Yeah, it doesn't really work on these; they're too small.
Which
Like,
are
why would
rather
you
pretty.
make it where they didn't work
But
if you're
the
gonna do a
unfortunate thing is
hoax?
it for them
You should show, oh, this is how they do it, and it's perfect
too
size
large that
mushroom."
I can't. We need to really be able
Perfect
to
size mushroom.
hook them all the way around.
It's like he's
But,
never
you know,
touched
you should
big
imagine
mushrooms
that's,
before.
That's an effective tool. A larger mushroom.
I guess there are people in the UK that actually think pixies are real,
They
though.
eat these mushrooms, but they also make them into.
Probably there's
little,
people who think God's real.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, so apparently not real. It would have been cool if it was.
Some of this stuff, like these guys, these people need to try fucking harder. You're gonna put through all that effort to make CGI, at least make it look like, not like Baby Groot running around. I've seen ones where they had like, this girl was like, put her mouth and there was a spider in her mouth, and it looked like a real fucking, like, spider. But, it's gotta be CGI coming out of her ear or something. I fucking hope so.
Trying to look through my history and see what all I've been looking up lately, because I listen to a lot of cool podcasts where they talked about some new stuff. I'm trying to think if there was like a new cryptid I heard about or something.
hear about a lot of weird cryptids, but they ended up kind of never amounting to much other than like a creepypasta.
Been playing a lot of Path of Exile still this league. I should show you guys some of my build ideas if anybody's interested. Because this is kind of a random podcast. We don't have to talk about supernatural shit the whole time.
Yeah, it could be both gaming and...
Yeah, I'm sure you want to talk about Burning Crusade coming out. Everybody keeps asking me if I'm playing that.
Yeah, well, I realize if you don't want to hear about the game, like, I don't want to force it upon you. It'd be annoying, but, so Rogers, our friend Rogers, the viewers might not know, he's always playing on, like, private servers and stuff, so he was always playing Burning Crusade, but he was super hyped for the Blizzard release, which kind of surprised me because he's usually quite anti-Blizzard, hates them and stuff. And so he was so willing to play like the game that he got the boost and everything, and I was helping him level the other day. But he said he's excited like it's Christmas all over again. He hasn't got excited for anything, even like getting married to his wife and stuff. In comparison.
What?
Yeah, he says he's more excited for TBC than having a kid, basically.
Okay.
But he says it's like, it's like an addiction or something, it's gotta be. He says it's like a different feeling, like it's more overwhelming of a feeling than those other ones. It's like, yes, I don't really understand. I'm excited for it, but I'm not like, it's not like Christmas morning kind
I'm trying to think if there's any games that I'm that excited for right now. It's like,
because a lot of these people I have like in my guild that I'm in are like, some of them have alts that have bank alts that are completely full with like every consumable that's relevant for TBC already, and like, they're like super ready, right? See all these videos, these people who are like, oh, I farmed 50,000 gold already and got like, 7 bank halts, and each one is for like a different type of cloth, and they're completely full. Like, these people, I'm not that excited. Like, I'm excited enough to get my pre-rating this kind of shit set up just so that I have an easier time getting better gear, but I'm not gonna go, like, I watched a video where a guy he was like, he boosted a warlock, got it leveled up, he got his guild to get him through like AQ40 and Nax or something to get him his gear to be pretty much really, not best in slot, but like good enough. And then it's got fully enchanted, and then he's gone around and completed all of these quests but not turned them in. So he's gonna wait, and he's talking about how as soon as the expansion drops, he's gonna go turn all these quests in, and it'll make him ding like level 62 before he even goes through the dark portal. So there's people who are taking it to like a whole level of preparation that's like far and above anything I've been able to do.
is there like a history, like a timeline of when all the different patches came out? I'm trying to find one. Because I was looking at that the other day, like I thought I played WoW for like 10 years. And it was actually like maybe a year and a half at the most.
Year and a half? Felt like 10 years?
Yeah, so okay, here we go. This has got a list. Let me see if I can read this. So, wait, it starts with the Burning Crusade. When did the original game come out?
Classic WoW came out in like 2001 or something, was it?
That's just a chart of how many days each one lasted. Levels 1 to 60. No, that's in it. Timeline. Is this it? Okay, classic. 2004, November. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so
I think it's
2001 was 9/11, and then I moved away to Lexington, like 2000, around then, 2002, 2003, I think. Started making videos in 2004, and then WoW came out. I was living in my old apartment, I think, at that time, when I originally started. That was around, it was right after the Gilmore saga, I think. Because I know I was in my old original apartment. And then I moved to the old classic T2 video apartment down in the basement apartment. And then I started playing WoW. But I played some Diablo 2 originally, though, right?
I think so. I don't know if
I
you
guess
ever
Diablo
made
2
videos
was
on that.
already kind of old by that time. Maybe I was playing that a lot before I started streaming. So Classic lasted like 2005 to 2007. But I didn't play Nax. Nax came out in July 2006, I think.
Yeah, so
So that's
that was,
about when I quit, I think.
yeah, a
'Cause
lot of
I
people
quit right around
complained.
Nax had started, and like there was those ziggurats that were floating in the sky, and they had those like circles of dudes you had to kill to get those things you got to save up.
Yeah, the pre-invasion patch.
Yeah, that's about when I quit playing. That's like a year and a half. It doesn't even
Yeah.
seem possible.
But it's like, that game feels like a job without like how much shit you gotta do all the time, right?
So then I played Burning Crusade. It came out right at January 2007. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
And I barely played it at all because I don't even know any of this stuff like Zulamon, Mount Hyjal, Black Temple. I don't know what any of that is. Sunwell. Never did any of that crap. I don't think I
Yeah.
ever even got level 70.
Probably not.
What's Nax 2? Is that like another Nax in Wrath of Lich King?
Yeah, they just re-released it essentially with like level 80 content and just changed some of the bosses and stuff. Which is kind of lazy of them, but they came up with like an easy version and a harder version.
I guess I could show this I'm looking at. No, that's not it.
I feel like the level 80 Lich King version is easier. It's just, you know, your classes are built different and stuff. I felt like all they did was upscale the damage on the bosses to be level 80, and like didn't even touch the mechanics at all. Even though those mechanics are geared for like level 60 players and not level 80, that are like completely different classes at that point. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, so Classic is right here. Burning Crusade's here. So what did I do after I quit playing WoW? What did I start playing after that? Path of Exile?
No, DayZ, wasn't it? Path of Exile wasn't out. Remember? Okay, so for those who don't know how me and T2 met, I was a subscriber on YouTube, and he was like, "Hey, I got this new game's coming out, DayZ. It's like a mod of Arma," and he sent it out to all his followers, and me and Flyjim and Mr. Rogers and all these other guys that were his subscribers were like, "Yeah, we'll play with you." And then we've been friends ever since. We played a
What was the
lot.
other game?
How
We
many?
played something else, though, right?
We played a lot of shit like Wizards 101. And, I don't really remember much of that game, but
Oh, fucking ArcheAge. We played a shit load of
ArcheAge.
ArcheAge for a long time.
a shitload of ArcheAge, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta count that. Craft Chest was
Remember-
there, Rogers was there.
Yeah. Skittles was there.
Oh,
we had some stories.
Grand Theft Auto
too.
San Andreas. I did a
That was
lot of
great.
videos on that, like back in the day.
Yeah, you played
Multiplayer.
Samp on those Samp servers with everybody for like fucking hours.
Trying to figure out like where those 15 years went, where I was just gaming and just staying at home. Like literally, I would get off work. I only worked the weekend, so I would get off work on Monday morning, and then my car would not move until Friday night when I go back to work, unless I had to go to the grocery store. So there was times where I was worried like my car would, like if you don't run your car so much,
Oh, it's not gonna start, yeah.
yeah, the gas goes bad or the battery dies or something, right? It's like you've got to like drive it some. So I remember one time I just went out and like I cranked my truck because I had a truck at the time, and I was gonna let it run just because I hadn't used it in so long, and like I forgot about it, and somebody called the cops like, "There's this truck been running for like 8 hours out here. Something's going wrong. Somebody's dead or something." Cops were knocking on my door. I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot about that." I must have went to sleep with my truck running or something.
Someone could have stolen your car. Did you leave it unlocked?
No, I had the key to open the door, or had the fob or something. I had it locked inside. It was weird.
Yeah, but I've kind of done shit like that too. Like, not vehicles, but I left the coffee maker on, and then it's like I come back, I'm like, "What smells like it's burning?" And then like all the coffee is evaporated out of the coffee maker because it's been on for so long.
Yeah, like yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, I put the laundry in, and then I totally forgot about it, and then went to bed, woke up. I was like, oh, the laundry's like still wet in the washing machine. I haven't even put it in the dryer yet.
Ah, goddamn, it's gonna get moldy if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little things. Like, I kind of found like when Classic WoW came out, I ended up becoming like regressed. My posture went back to being shit, and it was like only after I had gone back to work that I kind of undid a bunch of shit that I had broke my body essentially.
What do you mean?
Well, it was like from sitting for like 8 hours or more a day, I was getting like blood clots, not in my legs, but like
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of problems. I had to go to my doctor. He's like, "You can't keep doing this. You're gonna get a blood clot in your leg."
I went to Walmart today, and there's like so many fat people. I kept thinking I saw Wings of Redemption like 3 or 4 times. Like every time I see
3 or 4
is that Wings of Redemption? Is that Wings of Redemption? Like everybody looks like him in my town. It's weird. Like this woman was in one of those carts that are supposed to be for like old people, but the fat people drive them. And she was having her kids like pick out clothes on the bottom shelf for her. She's like, "Give me that triple XL." I'm like, "Good."
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Walmart so bad. This
Well, because like
drains
you
your
struggle
soul.
with weight, but some of these people, they just look like they don't care anymore. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I've started a diet this week, sort of. I'm going to try to like just skip breakfast and lunch and just eat dinner.
Yeah, that's what I do. Drink a
Then
bunch
I
of water,
guess
take my
eating,
meds in the morning.
if you're going to eat one meal a day, probably breakfast is the best meal because you can burn all your calories
Yeah,
throughout
'cause
the
you
day.
need the energy. Well, like for instance, you could probably your liver and your fat stores. You could probably live off that for a little bit. Just burn that.
Yeah, if I like only ate when I got hungry, I would never eat because I'm never hungry until like late in the day. Skip like 2 meals, and it's like, yeah, I guess I could eat now. If I could go like a whole day without eating, then like you ever get hungry enough where like you will eat anything, like you don't care anymore. It's like everything tastes good to you. I want to get to that.
Yeah, because like the other day I was starving to death, and Grim was in the Discord. She's like, "Oh, eat some broccoli." So I just threw a raw broccoli straight into the blender and drank it. I was so fucking hungry.
That's not the way to do it.
That's not the way to taste. It's horrible, and I like gagged on it, but I just drank the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
And then
so
it made me shit like afterwards because it was too much fiber.
you guys aren't familiar with Austin. He's got everything in the world wrong with him, and like then he has like all these bad eating habits and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well,
So-
I've only found out recently after like Asmongold was talking about his eating problems and why he's so skinny. And it dawned on me this is probably the same issue that he has as I have. I didn't chew my food good enough. So I was just like,
You're just
sounds
too
really
lazy
stupid.
to chew.
yeah. Because it's like I just don't like because
You're eating broccoli like a snake, dude. You're just like, goop, goop.
yeah. So I was talking to one of my friends from high school from years ago, like 8 years ago, and he's like, "Yeah, your nickname in high school was Birdman." I'm like, "Why?" I never understood why, because no one would tell me. It was because it was the way I ate, supposedly. Because I would just like take a bite out of a sandwich and then swallow the bite instead of chewing it.
Oh, so you weren't like Tony Hawk, the skateboarder. That's weird, dude.
I didn't even know because like my parents and all like the nutritionists and everyone I was going to was like never brought it up because it sounds so stupid, right?
Wait, well, how many? You said that you didn't. How long had it been since you ate a vegetable or something? You'd only eat like sandwiches or pierogies.
Still kind of doing that, but I'm like still eating vegetables on the side. I just added them to my. Well, I ate I ate sandwiches for like 2 years or something while I was playing Classic WoW.
It's like
And
Asmongold. He only eats like Taco Bell, right?
yeah, he looks. That's because I became so skinny. Like I became like Asmongold. You may not be able to tell with this what I'm wearing, but I actually had to put some of my stuff that I had was wearing like in my closet and break out the clothes from high school because I got so skinny. I was like reverting back to just skeletal form. That's actually why I picked an undead in World of Warcraft, because that's what I felt like I looked like, because I could see like my ribs and stuff. But I'm not doing that on purpose. It's like didn't. I always felt so stupid about it now because I was like for years I was getting sick and like throwing up and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's because my body can't like digest my food. It's like rejecting it. Now I have teeth for a reason. Just fucking use them.
So,
It was like, but the reason I did it is because it was like, I optimized my life to play video games. It was like anything. It was like, I can sleep like 2 or 3, maybe 2 or 3, 4 hours a day. That sounds like good enough. And then the rest was all allocated to like video games and playing WoW.
yeah, like if I come home and like I'm ready to play Path of Exile, but I got stuff I got to do. Like if I have to wash the dishes and then I have to do some laundry and I got to eat dinner. Like by the time I'm done, there's like it's time to go to bed. There's no time to play Path of Exile.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of how I was living my life.
Gotta have a fast way to cook food and eat it while you're playing or something.
Yeah. So that's why I even bought a blender in the first place, because I was throwing stuff like in the blender and just drinking it, because I was like, it was the fastest way to get back to playing video games.
So I would need this week on, week off thing. It'd be way better.
Yeah. Yeah, then I actually be able to play some games and enjoy my life. People say, like, for instance, the other thing that I always get shit for people is like, oh, Austin, you have disabilities, so you don't have to work. But it's just enough to, like, pay the bills, and I don't really have anything left over for myself to do anything with. So, I end up just having to, like, I realize this now, and I'm gonna have to, like, fuck it. Stop playing video games and go fishing or something, you know, be more productive. But yeah, for anybody out there that's playing too many video games or has a video game addiction, it's not worth it it's not worth it if you're gonna die. You know, if you're killing yourself over playing a video game, you're not gonna be able to play it anymore if you're dead. So.
What games do you think? You know, there's like games that are like really good, but then people stop playing them and they stop supporting them, and the servers don't exist anymore. It's like they don't exist anymore. You just can't play them anymore.
Well, like Valheim was kind of like that. When it came out and everyone was playing it on Twitch and Steam or whatever, and it was great. And then now it's like the only update they came up with was like some bug fixes and optimizations and some model changes, and that's it. We haven't heard like anything from them. That I haven't heard, but this is kind of why I bring it up. Is in my YouTube search algorithms for like 2 or 3 weeks after, keep getting videos and stuff related, and now it's like died down. Like maybe if I was to search Valheim again, I see something.
I was thinking like
Flavor of the
game.
Month.
I've been trying to think of the name of it forever, and I finally remembered. It's Zero Online. It's like that mech game. I'll show you a video over here. It's like Diablo, sort of, but you're in mechs. Like, I don't know if you could even still play this. Or if my characters still exist. If you could.
No, because, like, some of these games, like World of Warcraft, for instance, will keep your character, like, for forever, right? But they'll be marked as, like, as inactive. And so you wouldn't be able to view them on the armory, for instance. But, like, for instance, how long was did you not play your, Hankleton or I4. You had to go through some hoops to get him back, right? Originally, your account.
Seems like it. Yeah, so this game, you have these things on your shoulders that are other robots that you can fuse with to make yourself like a giant robot, kind of like Voltron or some shit. And you could also turn into other things. You could transform into like a turret or a dinosaur or an attack helicopter and stuff like that.
That's some good shit right there. That's some people being creative.
And there's these things that like They're super rare, kind of like the exalted orb in PoE. They're called meteors, and they make like a twinkling sound, and you get excited when you get one of those. Because you need those to upgrade your gear to like the ultra level or whatever.
These videos are like 12, 11 years ago. This came out when WoW came out or something.
The only problem with the game was that the PvP was so bad. Like, you get so overpowered that, like, one of your missions was to escort these things through this area. Like a train, kind of a convoy thing, you just escort it. So you'd go through a PvP zone, and just, you're so powerful that you'd accidentally kill people going through there because they'd be questing, like, low-level guys, and you just become along and they just get wiped out by you being high level. Even if you're not even attacking them, you're just, like, walking.
It reminds me of like thorns from Diablo 3. You can get so many thorns on your armor, like it was a stat, and then enemies didn't even have to attack you. They just get one shot by your presence.
But I don't know any other game where you can like transform your robot into another robot or combine with other robots to make a bigger robot. I always wish the game would do
it's
that.
like Power Rangers or something, I guess, but that's what it sounds like. Like, okay, remember when we played ArcheAge? We played Dwarves when we played it, like, the second time, right?
Yeah, it's another game. Like, I want to know, like, is my character still there? I know, like, they sold the company 2 or 3 times, and I had that mount that took me, like, 4 months of logging in, like, 30 days a month for 4 months to get that mount. Like,
which mount was that?
All those dailies. That one's like a big robot you jump into the top of, and you pilot it around. You do, like, a spinny move, and then all these blades come out of it and shit. It's like amazing.
Yeah, that was our special attack. Yeah.
Had like a big laser cannon.
Yeah, it was like super overpowered. It felt like a Death Knight or something from WoW when they first came out with it.
I guess they wiped the server like right after I got it. I'm like, Jesus, you know how much work that took?
Yeah, it was like we joined the fresh start, right?
And the daily quest to get your Gilda stars to get like crafting recipes to build like a house or a windmill or whatever you want to make. You'd have to like get these 3 flower pots every day, and you'd have to go to 3 different zones, or one zone you have to fly to the far left and then to the far right and then in the middle, and like plant these flowers in a certain spot, and that'd be like one daily quest where you get like 5 or 10 Gilda stars or something. You'd have to do that over and over and over every day, just wasting time.
Did you have any footage of ArcheAge? Maybe you could show people who don't know what we're talking about. But, just for people to like, I originally played ArcheAge before T2, and I was a pirate. And I've talked about this before, so I'll nutshell it. A lot of people hated me in that game because I wasn't here to roleplay and make friends. I was to like to get powerful. And so I took all of my knowledge from playing Rust and DayZ to just run trade routes and like snipe people and steal their stuff. And you can see how much work people put in this fucking game. Like, you're looking at the Pirate Island, I think there. Huge world bosses that take like a lot of coordination, people to kill.
The gliders are cool.
The gliders were cool, but then they start doing stupid shit like the Kraken glider was the most powerful glider, and you had to kill the fucking Kraken to get it. But then they normalized all of the gliders, so then what was the point of getting this fucking Kraken glider if it's just gonna be the same speed as all the other ones? Especially when we paid for some of us paid for like founder packs and stuff, right? We got like special gliders and other bullshit from that, which is kind of pay to win. This game was very much like that. Like what game shouldn't do? Like Thunderstruck trees. T2, you got a Thunderstruck tree a few times, right?
Yeah.
And they were like really rare and worth a ton of money. But originally, what they did before Fresh Start servers, they came up with a cash shot item which was called a Thunderstruck sapling, and that completely destroyed the economy because then people who were just cash cows could buy and make all of the things that Thunderstruck trees required.
I feel like we did everything wrong because I'm looking at this video. I don't recognize anything. This must be what you're supposed to be doing. We were doing all the wrong things or something. Yeah,
but the problem is you had to be in one of those big ass conglomerate guilds where you were just a peon. Like I was in a guild and one of these We Are Legend guilds, and we were doing it and everything, but everyone had to pay like guild taxes. And like had to pay like 35 gold every week or something just to stay in the guild to be able to. And all the big guilds were like that. Where I left one guild because I didn't want to have to pay the taxes anymore, and I joined this other guild, and they were like, "Oh, we got taxes too, and you have to give us a resume to get in our guild." Like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Custom sales you could make. You just put any picture you want.
Oh yeah, I
We
had my
had
icon.
Trailer Park Boys guy on there.
The ships were the best part.
Trade packs.
Ships were the best part. The sailing, the ocean combat.
Hold on.
If you look up, if you look up the one where they're fighting.
One time I almost stole a fishing boat and took it outside, like out of bounds, to destroy it. Because I was always treasure hunting with my fins and my deep sea diving helmet. And I just swim under the ocean, not even using a boat, and I snuck up on some guys that were fishing. But their boat's really slow. It's like a paddle wheel boat. So I took control of it, and
What just happened?
they started fighting me. But when you're steering a boat, you take way less damage. You take like 1% damage. So it takes forever to kill somebody that's on a boat. So I tried to steer them. Like, they were already close to out of bounds anyway. So I tried to just get it out of bounds for it to destroy their boat. It had like some expensive fish on it that they had caught. They were of the opposite faction.
Well, if you go to YouTube, I don't know if they copyright that stream, but maybe transformative work or whatever. But if you just go and before they came up with the patch where your boat would get damaged by collision, we used to harpoon our boats across the land, or harpoon other people's boats. You could harpoon your own boat to the bottom of the ocean and crank it all the way to the bottom of the ocean, and you sit there and wait for somebody come by and then release your boat, and your boat would slam into theirs and it would knock theirs over. And
Oh, here's a guy climbing a mountain with a harpoon.
Yeah.
This is great. That's why it's
And
great.
his hull is full of fish and trade packs, probably. Maybe not, but that's what we used to do.
Oh, yeah, it's a fishing boat. It's got the fish barrels and everything.
Yeah, that fishing boats were fucking expensive, man, but they were great targets. Fucking game looks so good too, the water and all the fucking.
When you're diving under the ocean, you see a shipwreck down there. You know it's got treasure on it. That's a pretty good feel.
Look up some.
And then
some
you
of
get one of those
like
100 gold statues, and it's you got to get it to the docks to turn it in, or you don't get the money for it. Somebody can just kill you and take it.
Yeah, so me and
Scary as
T2
fuck.
both had found these.
Like right there,
You have
look at
a
all the
chance.
shipwrecks.
Get them when you open chests.
I don't know if
You'll
those
find
are
these
real ones.
shipwrecks. And there's fake shipwrecks and real shipwrecks. The fake ones are part of the map, and then the real ones are.
You got to have balloons made out of leather to float this treasure to the surface where you can loot it. And then you got to either put it on your boat or carry it yourself. And you got to get it to the docks to turn it in, or you don't get to keep it.
The thing I just found hilarious about all this is I ended up buying
Expensive stuff
top
anyway.
tier equipment with all the loot I stole from other people and from doing this treasure hunting stuff. Where all these people, like you said, the video prior to this, they're fighting world bosses and having to join these big ass guilds, where they're just a slave to the big ass guild. And me, T2, and Rogers were making cheese packs up in the mountains, and doing treasure hunting. T2 had to go through. Well, explain to them all the shit you had to go through to get the submarine in a nutshell, I guess. You had to have multiple different professions.
Oh my god. Yeah, to make the submarine on its own, it takes more than one person, because you have to be a high level alchemist, I think. So I had to find a guy that was an alchemist to sell me a few of the things, because it would take forever. You can only master 2 or 3 professions. You could get
It's
some of them
Marvel,
pretty high.
essentially. It's
Yeah, mining and building and treasure hunting was the one I was doing, which is called, what was it called? Archaeology, maybe, or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
So you need the submarine in order to float the big shipwrecks, because you have to basically blast it with air to get the sand cleared out of the bottom of it so that you can attach balloons to it. It takes like 8 or 9 leather balloons that normally would just float one treasure chest. So this will float the whole ship up. And then the trade packs are on it. You got to break those loose, and then you can take those trade packs off and put them on your ship, which you have to have like a merchant vessel, special kind of ship, just to hold that many trade packs, which I had. And then it also tells everybody on the server that you're doing this, so they all start coming towards you and try to kill you while you're doing that.
Ended up having some of that too. It was like, yeah, because it's like the issue was we'd have to have all that shit on that ship. Ship when we float to the surface is not drivable, was it? No, we had to offload all the shit onto your ship. And then what we ended up having to do sometimes is maybe have like Rogers would take some shit onto his ship, and then we'd take some stuff onto your ship and my ship and go different directions. Because we keep getting attacked by like the same dude over and over again, because he was probably doing the same shit we were doing.
Yeah, here's basically what you do is you're blasting it with the air. Hey, this looks like something different.
I think that's the...
Well, the thing about the merchant ships would go faster east to west, because that's how you want to get to the docks with your merchant treasure. But the clippers and the other kind of ships that you attack ships with would go faster north to south. So they're like more for like cutting people off and like chasing after other ships that are going north south. So like navigating was kind of a deal. Yeah, this is a cargo ship that he's unearthed. So now he's got to like put the balloons on it. You get a lot of XP for doing this too, but like everything you do takes labor points. That's where the game kind of fucked up, because you need to have like a founder's account or whatever. You basically
essentially have to have subscription or more than that. Then there was potions you could buy as well.
That doesn't give you infinite labor. That just gives you a higher increased recovery. Yeah. So now he's got this balloons. What?
Does it give you turtles?
What do you mean?
No, it's a meme. I like turtles.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast right now.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay, see these sealed treasure chests here on the boat? These are the things you gotta like break open. So he's doing those on the way to it floating to the surface to save time. I think. And he's using labor points to even do that. So he might run out of labor before he gets all these unboxed. Oh, it looks like his balloons are popping.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a fail chance. Oh, maybe there is a fail chance.
Yeah, you had to have like a certain level of treasure hunting even to get the really good trade packs to get the most money out of it.
Yeah, because I remember we were opening the boxes and we got everything to the surface, and there was like maybe one thing that was like, oh, this is only one here. It's actually worth a shit.
We're not high enough level to open this box.
Yeah.
And the boats actually came with like scuba gear too. Like you could get a piece of...
Yeah, there's other shit you could get, which like, this is why I love the ocean. I was an elf, I could swim faster than other people. And I built my build so that like, if anybody encountered me, I'd trap them in a bubble at the bottom of the ocean. And it was so deep that if you didn't have a breathing device, you would drown on your way trying to swim back to the surface. And the way the game worked is if you die, you go back to the last closest graveyard to the last time you touched ground.
Yeah.
So like, they would go all the way back to like their fucking starting area, and I would have their ship and all their loot and stuff like that.
So if you take these trade packs to the middle island, you get way more money for them, but everybody camps it and kills you, so it's like pointless.
Well, that was the thing. Like that middle island, is usually where the pirates used to be able to own property on those houses. So like, they took that away, but the pirates they still lived up in the top right-hand corner up there, right? And whenever we would always just, because there's
exploration is what it was called. That's what.
Yeah, exploration too. so many different skills.
Printing. There's a printing skill.
Yeah, there's a printing skill. There was a skill for making music or something, right?
Yeah.
If your skill got high enough, you could make like
Instruments.
instruments and play. But it was like playing instruments in different tones would give you like speed buffs.
Yeah, like Craft Chest, he was a big instrument guy, I think, because he'd ride a donkey and he would play a flute while he would ride it, and it would make a donkey run faster so he could turn in trait packs faster.
Yeah, so like for instance, us pirates, until they nerfed it, would many of our guys, we had the cash shop donkey that it's called Carrot, and it moves faster than normal. You can like feed him actual carrots and it'll give him like a speed boost. But the speed boost also applied to swim speed. So if you're wearing the underwater breathing helmet with the legendary swim speed fins that you can get from like what was it? We're up there, the Dahuda's Reef, which is like a sunken Atlantis area. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
And there was all these little pots, and you had to have exploration skill to open these pots, and they had a chance to have fragments, and you add all the fragments together, and you get these swim speed boots. Because there was shit in the game that people had no idea about, because there wasn't any wikis for it, really. Like, with World of Warcraft, everybody knows everything about it already, right? With this game, it was like, people didn't know what the fuck. So there was a fragment recipe to make like a skeleton black pearl ship that was the fastest ship. And so the pirates had like 3 or 4 of those, and we could catch trade ships even if they were going north or south with it. And what was the other thing? It was like, so
Ghost ships.
we would jump off our ship, and let's say there's a ship that's going faster than us. We would jump off, get into the water, and because we're elves, all of the swim speed and movement speed stacks in the water. So we would be playing flutes to give us a move speed bonus.
In the ocean?
And then we're in the underwater, and we're riding the donkeys, and we're giving the donkey like its food, and we're wearing the speed fins, and it would make us go faster than any boat could possibly go. So we would just catch up to people. And we would be like a pod of dolphins that just come to the surface. We're like riding our fucking donkeys going faster than them. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do next?
I didn't know you could ride donkeys underwater. It don't sound right. I thought it like unmounted you anytime you touched the water.
They did that in later patches. But this is a patch. Like, the problem was that...
Oh yeah, you played like a long time before I even started playing, right?
Yeah.
You played.
So this is like shit that you don't know about. So, yeah, when they originally released it over here, it was the current, like, it was a certain current build, but it didn't have any bugs fixed in it. So instead of doing what Blizzard's doing, and they like curtailed Classic to be a certain version, or like a compilation of different versions, right? And they're all balanced. When you played early ArcheAge, there were still people knew about the bugs and exploits and how to exploit them because of the changelog from like the Korean servers, right? They already knew, like, I don't know how the developers fucked that up so badly. Like, you know that people are gonna abuse these glitches and bugs because you're using an outdated version of the game. And they just, like, let it happen. So, I don't know. But it did enter some, like, amazing shit. Like, where I'd use Dahuda's Wave, which is a knockback spell, and I'd open a portal to my capital city and go over to, like, the Horde territory, and so I would go over to the Horde territories, capital city, or you know how you know in the area where Crap Chest used to live, but that. So I went up there because that was a primary where people would have farming spots and shit. And there's this one spot where you take your donkey and like drop over the edge of a little mountain, so you can go up to those airships, like a skip, instead of having to go all the way around. I'd put a portal right there, and then I'd sit up on the mountain range where someone couldn't hit me. And I just keep using like a knockback and throwing them into the portal. And that they had their packs on their back, and they can't go through a portal with a pack on their back, so it would just leave their pack there. And they'd get yeeted off to like my capital city to get killed. Because they would just pop out of the portal as a Horde character in the middle of like an Alliance capital city and just get fucking nuked, right? You know, eventually they changed a lot of this stuff, but you can probably tell why a lot of people hated me on that server.
Sure.
It made for some interesting content, though.
Okay, this brings up enemy territory Quake Wars. I gotta remember
What's he
that.
saying?
Remember enemy territory Quake Wars?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a vehicular Quake.
Kind of reminds me of that in a way.
Crimecraft Gang Wars or whatever. Bleed
Yeah,
out.
that was another good game, and then they fucked that up, didn't they?
Yep.
Crime Wars. I watched a video on that, actually, after you mentioned it. Like, Crime Wars has something to do with,
It was a third-person
game
shooter.
Yeah, but the game developers just keep coming out with, like, bad update after bad update. Like, what, are they trying to kill their game? Like, or are they just so disconnected? It's kind of the issue Blizzard has, where all the original people have all left, and the only people left are, like, morons who don't understand how, like...
Combat was just
successful.
really good. Like, you could knife people. Like, the knifing system was really good. And then you had, like, counters to everything. Like, you could wear, like, armor that would shock somebody that tried to knife you. And then you could throw smoke grenades to, like, try to capture the points you're trying to capture. But then you could also, like, stealth. And then you could tweak
Mustache
your smoke
usually
grenade.
play
So the
that.
smoke grenade would do, like, little poison damage. Like, 1 damage a second or something. So it would, like, unstealth you. So anybody that's stealthing in your smoke gets, like, unstealth. And you can, like, do all this kind
You
of...
could make your character, like, very anti-stealth. People who can't go back to stealth, like a rogue's getting some sort of dot on them or something.
I think there was an anti-sniper thing. I can't remember how that worked.
Anti-sniper? You'd have, like, a...
There's just kind of like the counter for everything. Like if somebody's overpowered in one way, you could just figure out a way to change your setup, and then you could counter.
See, that's good, though. It's like a proper balance, you know?
Yeah, like the LMGs were high ammo but low accuracy, so they were good if you're close range, but far range, you're just like, oh, he's got LMG, you can't do shit. So it's kind of like, you know, shotgun if you want to go close range, or like, I don't know. It's a really good game.
Yeah, and
A
it's
lot of
sad it died.
Like,
They keep...
back when I played Tribes 2 and stuff, capture the flag was the big thing. Like, Quake 2, Doom times, like all that, it was all capture the flag. CTF. And then Crimecraft had like sort of CTF modes. It was like you had a safe you would open up and you get all this money out and take the money back to your base. But nobody does anything like that anymore. It's all like battle royales.
Yeah. Well, I thought you might like Rust. Kind of... If we go to a server that's not 200 people who are trying to murder you, and it's like... 'cause there is safe zones, and like, it's done properly, in a way, I guess.
There was a
Same.
video I watched the other day about Guns the Duel. Remember that game?
It's the duel.
I never played it that much. I think I tried it, but like people got really into it and they got professional sort of at it. Like there was a lot of different things you could do, like animation canceling and butterflying around, like walking on walls and like doing a bunch of different combination attacks and stuff.
It reminds me of
high-level
level buffing
PvP.
and stuff. Like in Dark Souls 3, people figured out there was a way to like min-max. Like people were always obsessed with min-maxing even before like classic WoW came out, right? And min-maxing is like, you know what it is. You gotta get the best in slot here. Doesn't matter if it's set. It could look like a bunch of like a clown suit. But the option is you want to be doing the most possible damage. And so one of them was you had weapons that you couldn't buff with certain spells or put like enchantments on. People figured out a weird glitch where you had to like roll and off a certain height, and it's all based off your frame rate and all this shit. And then you could buff your weapons with like enchants they're not supposed to have. But then when people were like fighting in combat, you would like feign your attacks and get people to like parry too early. But it was like stuff that wasn't intended. Like the game developers didn't put that in the game. It's like players had figured this shit out. You know? And I love that kind of shit.
Speaking of like getting good at stuff, like Rocket League, I've talked about before. Like you kind of, the more you play Rocket League, you go through stages, and like I thought I was like at the highest stage, and I hit another level the other day. So like, let me try to explain it because it's so weird. Like you start out playing Rocket League, and the first thing you kind of learn is rotating. I got 3 guys, 1 guy goes and attacks, And if you miss your attack, you circle back to the goal and you play defense. While the other guy that was on the goal, he goes out and attacks. Like you rotate back and forth. So anytime somebody like gets mad that you're losing, they say, "Oh, you didn't rotate. Fuck you. You're not a good rotator or something." That's their go-to argument for anything. Any kind of a noob will say you can't rotate. And then you get to Diamond League and you realize everybody stops rotating because Diamond League you're min-maxing in a way that like you have to attack and defend at the same time. You can't just be doing one job. If you got one guy sitting on the goal, that's just a waste of a guy, and the other team's going to overwhelm you like with 3-man offense. So you kind of got to, I don't know, min-max and like do every job at the same time. And then you get to where like me and Stormkiller used to play, and he'd get mad because I was trying a bunch of crazy shit and I wasn't skilled enough yet. But then once you play like 1,000 hours, you kind of get your muscle memory gets really good, and you can like, I can pull off the crazy shit that I used to try, that I used to not be able to do, and now I can do that. And it's just kind of like automatic. You don't even have to think about it anymore. This is what I call playing with your balls. Like you don't think with your mind, you go off your gut, your instinct. Yeah. Whatever you use, you have the balls to just try shit and then you make it work. So that was like a level up, sort of. And then I got to where I would stop. Like whenever you clear the ball or you save the ball, you would always point your car towards the enemy goal at the same time. So if you save it, you're also shooting on the enemy goal. If you clear it, you're also clearing it towards the enemy goal. Like anytime you do anything, always hit towards the middle, like a pass, or you hit towards the enemy goal. You're like, it's kind of like doing two things at once. A lot of people still don't know about doing that. That's like a high elite thing. So then, was there another level after that? Like doing aerials and stuff. A lot of people that play the joystick, they're on a whole different wavelength than I'm on, because they do a lot of stuff where they would freestyle and they figure out how to like bounce off the roof and then touch the ball with all four of their wheels. They can get a flip reset and they can flip a second time, or they can like spin their car upside down and backwards and like aim it like reverse, because they're, I don't even use the button that they do that with because I'm playing keyboard mouse. Yeah. But the other day I figured out like I can make my car invisible.
Make it invisible?
Sort of. Like if, like you're always watching the ball, but now I started like watching the people on the other team, and like I can tell like when they're focused on the ball and when they're not looking at me, and I know like if I don't use my boost, they can't hear me, and I know they're not looking at me, so I can kind of sneak up on them and they're not seeing me. It's like I've made myself invisible, like but just by pure instinct and like playing the game for thousands of hours. Like I know what he's looking at right now. I can get in, like I'm getting in places I shouldn't be able to get into, and like sneak
one
attack.
game I really played the shit out of was like the Dark Souls series. There's like 1, 2, and 3 came out, and I played it. I get to the same point where the game developers like put a lot of complaints that when you invade players it wasn't fair and all this shit, so they made it harder. So when I would invade people, they had to have like 2 other people in their world helping them to make it like fair. Even though I'm the invader and I'm at disadvantage. So I would have to like watch people, and also I'd have to pay attention to like the meta and watch YouTube videos on like what the current meta is, because it's always changing from like patch to patch. And it became like almost like playing WoW in a way, because I'm doing like what you're doing. I'm watching people and go, oh fuck, I know what he's doing. Oh, he's got that certain weapon, so I know what he's planning. And like, you know, I know how to counter him or something, or you know, you see some fucking person, he's running off in a certain direction, like, where the fuck's he going? I'm over here. Oh, he's gonna set a trap for me or something, like, you know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I was thinking about like on Rocket League there's a mode where you get these special gadgets. I don't know if you ever played it. Like some of them you can kick the other cars, or you can like punch the ball with a punchy glove and like a big spring-loaded thing comes out of your car and stuff. But the thing is, you can't see what other people have, or if theirs is ready. If they have a, like if it showed above their car an icon of what they have, that would be a whole nother level, because then you have to like, or if you could like choose all of the things, like you had every weapon available at your disposal, or maybe like one per round or something. You know, like which ones you got left, which ones you've used up, which ones the other team have used up. It'd be like a whole nother level to psychological aspects of it. I don't really like that mode though.
The psychological part is kind of interesting, because it's like a way to psych out your opponent. Like if they're planning something and then you counter them and they're like, how the fuck did he know I was going to do that? can be like drop the ball for the rest of the game because they feel like, well, this guy's too good. He just knows what I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, like a lot of it is like if you overcommit, like you go on the other team's side, then everybody gets mad because you're like overcommitting. But like if I see the other team with the ball and they kind of fuck up, I always charge in because I see them make a mistake, and I'll make them like force them to make a move earlier than they wanted to, and they can't get a good aim on it, so I make them screw up. Other people don't recognize it's what I'm doing or something. Like I'll like bluff charge them. Sometimes I'll like start going towards them or hit my boost and I'll back off again to make them think I was like psych them out. But like a lot of people don't even do that. They just play regular fundamental shit.
Well, I watched some of the games you play against people, and like sometimes you play against people who are just like they're not good teammates. They don't help. They're just trying to get carried, or they don't want to be a team player. They just like take the ball and lose it.
A lot of people are like scared of losing their ranks, so they'll play just how you're supposed to play and never improvise, never do anything different. Like if you're playing high level stuff, everybody knows like the default basic way to play, so you're super predictable. If you do that, you have to do stuff that they're not expecting to win.
Yeah.
If you don't play with your balls and you're playing like a piece of shit chicken shit, and you're going to lose your ranks because you're scared of losing your rank. You got to play like like you don't need to win, and then you can win.
Yeah. Like for instance, I don't know.
That's why I fucking lose in Path of Exile. When I'm like 2 bars from leveling and I die, it's because I'm about to lose. I don't want to die right now, and then I'll die because I'm playing to not loose. I'm not playing loose.
Yeah, I can see that. Like Rust, when things get clutch, or playing Daisy. I don't know, certain games you have to. I almost feel like I have different profiles for them. Like I don't feel really super confident when I'm playing Rust, because I feel like everyone's just gonna murder me. It's so easy to die in this game. But Daisy's like the same way. But like when I'm roaming with more people, I feel more confident, and like I feel like my skill level increases. Because I'm not scared of people anymore. I can like, I got backup. I can like force my way in here and rush this guy and kill him before he can do anything.
It's so weird how Path of Exile works, because it feels like the whole game changes when you're like 2 or 3 bars from leveling.
Yeah, it does.
You get the weirdest fucking map mods you've ever seen. The craziest shit starts happening.
I remember the other day, that's why I kind of got demoralized, because we were doing those expensive maps to get XP, but if I died once, I lost like several hours of XP, and it's like...
Yeah, once I hit 95, I can't even get like 2 bars of XP on my character now. It's like I'm so squishy.
Because you need to do higher and higher level content to get more and more like prevalent experience gains, right?
Well, I stopped using Petrified Blood to get damage, so that might have been it.
Not working?
I don't know.
So,
I mean, you live longer, but it takes longer to kill stuff, so then stuff's around longer to kill you, so it's kind of a trade-off.
I've been wondering, because it's like, we look up these builds, and then these people are like, oh yeah, these builds are real powerful, and they're cheap, or whatever, supposedly, but then I look at it, like, when the actual thing launches, it was originally cheap, but then it was good, and then everybody watched the video, which then drove the price up, because everyone wants to make, like, a version of that thing. So, like, the issue this league we were having to deal with, like, the stuff was so fucking expensive. It was like, I got 1 or 2 exalts to drop for me. But most of the other shit was like me and T2 were still doing like a thing where we're sharing a sword back and forth. You know?
Yeah. It's like a 3.5 exalt sword. Maybe I should make your build. I don't know.
Lancing steel, like you could probably do it properly.
Got all the gear for it pretty much. There's a artillery something or other boss killer build.
Yeah.
It has really
the build I am using works really well on bosses and maps, but I still feel like there's shit I'm squishy to. Or we try to do the ultimatum thing, and you get up to like level 6, and then I can't survive anymore and I die.
What sucks about you can't do everything with one character. You're either a clear speed, or you're a bosser, or you're a lab runner that just never dies. I want a guy that never dies, but he can also kill bosses. I don't really care about clear speed as much. I don't know.
Yeah, I did a few characters. I had a Juggernaut that could like live in the lab, and
I wish you could have like everything just on a switch weapon, like one weapon clear speed, one weapon boss killer. If you could get everything filtered down to where just the weapon is what matters to if you're clear speed or boss killer.
Well, that reminds me, like, what about Glacial Cascade? I used that like 2 leagues in a row, and I really haven't gone back to it just because it's
That's
always
probably
changing.
good for both, right?
But it's probably good for clearing maps and for bossing, right? Because it was like throw a bunch of mines down, and then you just nuke everything.
Didn't they nerf it though?
I'm sure they've nerfed it, but it always seems like it's still viable to some degree.
Seems like any kind of miner would be. Well, how does it survive you though? How do you survive with it?
Well, when we first met Mustache, when I was playing it, I remember I had like negative resists, and I was just like terrible gear, and I was just running around like not letting any mobs touch me, and I was like throw the mines down. That was a really hard way to play though, because I had to constantly like detonate mines.
The
And
bosses
probably don't want to have to do that. Yeah, bosses would wreck me, but I could clear maps, and it wasn't until like Mustache helped me like get everything sorted that I could actually survive. But I still had issues actually surviving. So I was like, I had to kill the boss before it killed me. But I don't know how much they nerfed it, because I remember when I first used it, we went to do Shaper, and I threw down like all my mines, and as soon as Shaper became attackable, I hit the button and it one-shot him.
So I've been trying to think of a build that uses like the damage scales on something related to your defense, like how much mana you have, what you have mana over matter, or damage per endurance charge, something like that, where your defensive layers also gives you more damage.
Yeah.
Something. Plus, I got those elegant hubris's I'm working on. Like, if you get those in the right, you get the right roll on them, you can get like crazy crit multi or crazy minion damage or crazy fizz damage, like 80% per node. Get like 320% damage.
Yeah, they're always changing nodes, and like, you're fucking around with that gem the other day, trying to get the right.
Yeah,
Did you ever get the right combination?
I got a pretty decent one, but it's not like super crazy. Had a bunch of block chance on it. I'm thinking about maybe trying a abyssal jewel stacker build or something, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna get like a Stygius Vise and some shit with that.
The replica Shroud of the Lightless. Get like 6 abyssal jewels on it.
Yeah, that's another one that's good.
Darkness and Throne gives you 2 on Tomb Fist, 2 on the
My
helmet.
friends were asking about like how do I explain Path of Exile to them? Like, I guess I could refer them to your videos. You had like 2 or 3 videos of you explaining what Path of Exile is.
The skill tree intimidates a lot of people out of the game.
Yeah, they look at it and they're like, "Oh my god, what the fuck is this?" And they're looking around and there's just a bajillion different.
I mean, the cluster jewels. I mean, I can.
Especially that cluster.
If you're going to
that's
use
a
cluster jewels,
yeah, a clusterfuck.
you got to use different websites just to keep track of everything.
Because we go over to like places like O.Ninja, which other people might not even know exist, right? Or O.Trade. And we're sitting there trying not to get scammed. You know, we're trying to find our items we actually want half the time, and then there's like all sorts of different ad fixes and prefixes. Like, I feel like a noob sometimes because I'm trying to like figure this shit out, and they've added something new in the patch notes that I didn't understand. Or
yeah, see if you can figure this out. Right, this is how PoE Ninja works. I'll show you. You can search over here for skills, and on this one, I've searched for elemental hit builds, I think. I don't know why it says totem. Anyway, the right things are up here. These 2 guys here at the top, I've sorted it by DPS. And they have 1.5 billion and 1.2 billion DPS. The elemental hit. And these are the 3 big notables or whatever keystones that you're using. If you look at this guy, he's using Loath Salvation Crown, Plague Coil, Gloom Spiral, Rift Nails. Right? Those are his. Remember those names. He's got the Eagle Wind Bow, Loath Salvation, Plague Coil, Gloom Spiral, Rift Nails. Now let's look at the second guy. dun, dun, dun. Loath Salvation, Eagle Wind, Plague Coil, Golem Knuckle, different ring, Rift Nails. So he's got all 4 of these items are the exact same item. They're duped, right?
Yeah, with like a mirror or something.
Well, I would say mirrored at the bottom if it was mirrored, right?
Yeah, because
So what has he done? Oh, look at this. 5 Watcher's Eye jewels. It says limited to 1 at the top. You can only have 1. This guy over here, 7 Watcher's Eyes. That's why his damage is insane. He's got crit multiplier while affected by anger on all of his jewels. It's like 350 crit multi right there. I mean, that's crazy.
we basically just have to do what these top tier dudes do.
I mean,
Copy them.
you can only use 1 Watcher's Eye. How has he got 7 of them? These are unique, limited to 1 jewel. You can't have more than 1. But he has them somehow.
But he has them, and they're all different, and they're not corrupted, or they're not different. See, this is what I don't even understand. And you look at people's passive trees, and you're like, okay, you're much smarter than I am. Like, what? How the fuck did you do this?
He's cheating, right? He has to be. There's no way you can have more than 1 Watcher's Eye. I mean, you can put them in the tree, but it'll say, like, the stats don't count because you're only allowed to have 1 or something like that. They got the same quiver, too, I think. Rune Hill.
I was trying to, this entire league, I was trying to save up for, like, a Watcher's Eye for some shit that I needed. It was so expensive for him to have 7 of them.
I've got 3 of them because I can run Uber Elder really good on my character now, apparently.
3 of them?
I killed Uber Elder yesterday or the day before. Got like 2 of them. Plus, I already had 1 that I bought off somebody.
It's pretty good.
I mean, you want to get ones that have the skills that you use, like your auras. Otherwise,
So what is the Watcher's Eye anyway? Because I knew I needed it, but I didn't even look into, like, what it does.
Alright.
Item 75% of people are using fucking
I'll show
Watcher's
you.
Eye now.
Let me put this back on. Alright, so you go to PoE Trade, clear it out. If you go over here to while affected by, these are the Watcher's Eye things you can get. So let's say you use Wrath. That's a common one. Search for while affected by Wrath. So you can get physical damage as extra lightning damage for Wrath. You can use damage pin, lightning while affected by Wrath. Lightning damage while affected by Wrath. Let's say you get like 2 of these. Let's see, you got damage pin and lightning damage. So these are 94x and 2 mirrors. So you get 52 lightning damage, you get 15 lightning pin, and then you get a malevolence on this one. This one's got a zealotry, increased crit chance against people on consecrated ground while affected by zealotry. So as long as you got wrath and zealotry, you get all 3 of these things affecting you. Plus you get 5% energy shield, 5% life, 6% mana. So, like, what's another thing that what's another good, discipline's a really good one.
So, like, if I looked up my build, I got my quote thing, I mean, it's
Affected by discipline. Faster start of energy shield recharge. So if you wanted to be like a energy shield guy, these are 3x and up. So you get faster energy shield recharge and regen. I don't know how people get like 12,000 ES. But if I wanted to find out, here's how I'd find out. Go over here, reset all filters. Sort by ES. This guy has 30,000 ES, so I just look at him. What did he do? He's got a Whispering Ice Staff. Okay, he's got 622 on that. Defense modifiers have 8% increased effect. That's a defense modifier. This one has 320. This one has 7% intellect and 69 int and 43 energy shield and 30 int on the bottom. So that's a lot of int right there. So this is an int stacker build. Because Whispering Ice gives you damage. It's a level 1 skill on the staff, and you get the more int you have, the more damage it does. 1% spell damage per 10 int, so that's how he gets all his ES. He's stacking a ton of intelligence. 5% int on his boots.
Well,
The
that
flat
staff's
int.
usually shit, right? And he's actually making himself like super powerful doing this. Or is this
Yeah,
just-
I mean, that's really defensive. Like, if you have 30,000 ES, you can't be one shot by anything.
it's like the only thing you can do that is chaos, right? But then you could have chaos inoculation or something.
Using brute force to turn his strength passives into int passives. 2 split personalities. Okay. Natural instinct's really good. Watcher's Eye has extra maximum energy shield when affected by clarity. 10% of your maximum mana is extra maximum energy shield. So, if he just runs clarity, if he has a shitload of mana because he has a shitload of int, then he's also going to have a shitload of extra maximum energy shield. See, that's really good. Kind of wonder how much that's worth. Emperor's Wit. Oh, that's one of those ones that you could only get from the lab before. Because that one guy used to hoard them all. And they nerfed him. Emperor's Mastery. 7% attributes. How much are those going for now?
See if I need the Watcher's Eye.
Emperor's
Yeah.
Mastery,
I still need
999
that.
Exalt. What?
Get another one of those. I need the Rockalash's coil still. If you have it. Really
Oh,
expensive still.
Fuck. Are these just not being sold right now? Oh, these are 2x. Emperor's Mastery is like only one on the whole auction house. Anyway, that's some tips and tricks for Pee-wee.
Yeah, that's a.
That's how you
Shit
copy
right there.
people's builds, figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, just but a lot of these are going to be so expensive because they're also wearing like the best versions of everything too. So.
I mean, one of the things that you want to do in the game is to figure out something nobody else has figured out. Come
Yeah,
up with a
that's
build.
kind of like the special.
Like the guy that makes all the worm blaster builds, and they keep nerfing it, and he keeps figuring out ways around it to make the worm blasters. You're caking.
Show that, for example.
I mean, there's so many of them. Basically, worm writhing jar is a flask that makes worms pop out, so you have shitty minions that don't do any damage, but you can like crit on them. So you're cast on crit. You just pop a bunch of worms out, and you hit that, and you can cast on crit and just constantly spit out a shitload of spells on bosses. Same thing with the breach ring, or the portal gem that you corrupted into a breach gem. You can make a big bunch of breach dudes come out, and you can use those as minions, because boss fights is usually just one boss and there's nothing around to like crit on it. If you have a shitload of stuff, then you have a way higher chance to crit because you're hitting way more stuff.
Well, I feel like when my build, I'm just like fighting bosses. I just like chew through them as soon as it gets to a state where like burned all my shards, and then I pull them out of them. It's like it takes like massive amount of damage, and then you do it again. You just keep doing that, it's like drilling into them, pull them out, drill into them, pull them out. Just destroys bosses. Though it's good for fighting Maven, but it's not so good for fighting everything else, it seems. Anyway, so here's the Watcher's Eye I need, but it says this build is for like I had to be like level 96 for this or something. Get enough. I could probably just swap it around, but
He also made like a shitload of archery totem, ballista builds, and he made like a mirage archer build. Just crazy amounts of minions. Then he made like an infinite veil skill build where he kept doing veil double strikes over and over again. It's like shadow warriors, just like tons of them. I don't know. Infinite veil skills is really cool right now.
yeah.
I don't know how it works though. I don't use both of those flats, but then I see like once you get so high level you don't need them anymore or something. People were just getting infinite veil skills normally somehow. I don't understand.
Okay. So the Watcher's Eye I need is got impales to inflict last 2 additional hits while using Pride. something. I don't know if I need his exact stats, but I don't know how much a watcher's eye with impales on it.
Is anybody still watching the stream, by the way? Can anybody put something in chat if you're watching?
Yeah, because
I feel like
it's
somebody
what you
was
want to
commented
talk
on
about.
my lid that's stuck to my chin right now, but nobody said a word. So I feel like nobody's paying attention.
I can feel that.
It says 9 people are watching, but nobody's saying shit. 10 people are watching. Holy crap. Why does it say I'm playing Dota 2?
Not playing Dota, are you?
I must have didn't set anything as my game that I'm playing. It just picked a game. It still says gaming
This
is
is like,
number 1.
yeah, still gaming with that. Yeah, it's kind of the problem with the. I don't know. You want to go? Are you able to kill Uber with someone else in the party, or is he just too strong?
I don't know if I got any fragments left or not. We're gonna do it live?
Sure, I'll hop back on.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
do a little finale before we get off, because we've been streaming for like almost 2 hours now or something.
Doing it live.
Get that sword for me. I didn't see it in the guild station. I was using it on.
I wasn't gonna run you through Uber. Let me see what I got. I'm needing the bottom right fragment. Do you have one of those? Oh,
Is that a mortal fragment?
Got a Maven's writ. Oh, that's where you fight Maven. You gotta like do that weird dance thing. Dance Revolution it.
Rage. Is that what you need?
No, I need the bottom left fragments of...
I don't have any of the other fragments. Like,
Which one is it? Purifier, Enslaver, Constrictor, what's the other one?
that's just how much I kind of feel like a noob because I don't really fight Uber very often. Like, for those who don't know, it's like I usually just, me and T2 mostly just play in whatever league is relevant, and then never really touch standard that much. It wasn't until recently, I think, like, you went and tested some shit on standard and stuff.
Let's see what it's called. Purifier, Eradicator. Let's see if I can buy a map real quick. Anyone? Anyone?
That's the problem with some of these. The people don't reply. I want to buy shit, motherfucker.
This guy's Korean. I'm sure he'll have need of currency. What's it called when the map has the eradicator in it?
It has what in it?
The eradicator?
I don't know.
I don't even know how to find a map that has the... Oh, I think you only get it from Zah missions. Shit. Let's rattle up. Nobody's selling any.
Shit.
Let's try 18C. There we go, found one. So you're gonna come with me or what?
Yeah. You have that other sword? Are you using the sword right now?
Oh, hang on. Guess I'm gonna buy 2 of them. Oh, this guy left. Never mind. Take my jewels out of him.
Got him.
Alright, sword's in the stash.
Okay, cool. Now I can do weapons damage. Damages with my weapon. So yeah, I feel like play a lot of games. Maybe if I just played one game, I'd get super good at it, but well, I feel like burnt out after I play too much Path of Exile, or especially when we're doing the mapping. If I map for 8 hours and then die and still don't fucking level up, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Here we go! I've never done it with 2 people, but I'm sure it's about the same.
Just go. Just be extra cautious, I guess. Insta-kill bullshit there. Ah! Ah, it was. What in the fuck?
I did not see anything happen there. I just fell over dead.
Well, the Elder's like on me, and maybe if I just stay dead, I'll get credit.
Oh, it's a slam killing me. I guess it does 50 times damage when you're with another person or something.
Is that how that works? That seems absurd. Like, I want to play this game with my friends.
Oh, I just wasted a portal by going in the fucking portal we just came out of. Oh, I guess I'm dead again. I'm stuck in this thing.
Get out of the thing.
I mean, I promise you I've done this before. We're not going to do it this time, but...
Oh, he's got some shit coming towards you. Behind you.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be in the middle ring or the in between the rings or what. Yeah, you just die from that. I don't know. Fuck. I mean, this was a piece of fucking cake last time I did it, and now it's like impossible. Because I'm streaming it. Shaper's already almost dead. Shaper already die.
Yeah, I don't want to use any portals.
No, the Shaper.
Oh.
I don't see him anywhere. He must have died. Oh, there he is. He's got a little bit of life.
He's got, yeah, a little bit of life left, but yeah, he's gonna die. If he dies, we fail, right?
Get his energy shield back up. There he goes. Energy shield recharging.
The Elder's health's dropping pretty fast. You might be able to do it. Keep it up.
Got him!
Drop anything good? Fragment of Terror and an Honest Amulet.
Hey, we did it.
Oops, there was other things that worth anything?
I doubt it.
That's the problem with Path of Exile. Well, you'll kill the Uber, who's the the equivalent to Uber Diablo or some bullshit, and it's like, here's a piece of garbage for your time.
Vulnerability has 100% reduced reservation. Is that one of your skills?
Maybe.
It's got adds fizz on it, which is a.
Oh yeah, maybe vulnerable. I don't know. I don't think so.
Divine. It's got real shitty rolls. Let's see. Shitty. Good stone block.
So I'm trying to.
Not really good enough. I mean, I don't want to waste some more divines. So I've got extra fragment of terror. A Herald of Ash ring. Pretty sure these would be garbage. This says it's worth 20. I don't know why.
I can give you the Mortal Fragment for.
I will see you again.
I don't need those. Just extra Uber at Siri. You can do that real quick. You need it for
Achievement
achievement
for
or
that,
something?
because I've already killed him. I think it's like. Coloring this. Was this the Uber version of her?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, 4 strength, 4 stam, leather belt.
Good map returns in here.
Yeah, so is this. What's the most powerful, like, build you've ever made? This one?
Sure, I don't know.
I killed Uber Elder. Like, I remember in the past, we hadn't even killed this Eerie, because it was, like, too difficult or whatever.
Winter Orb build, like before they nerfed that, was really good.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember playing that word. Yeah, just destroying everything.
Just trying to get a shaped pyre ring. That's hard, you gotta chance it, and there's multiple sapphire rings that are unique. What the fuck? So much more life with 2 people.
You used to shit just dying, huh?
I have to fucking figure out their attacks.
Oh, shit, the lightning.
Apparently it's really bad.
Just get nuked.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm trying not to die.
What's my... Alright.
That's what I feel. It's like you play the game single player and you're like, that wasn't too bad. Let me invite my friend here. Oh god, I'm dead. I finally shows the fuck up. Just as I go in a portal. Came out of there.
Jesus!
Oh, dude, 4 strength, 4 stam, leather belt.
Jesus, kill the stupid thing.
Yeah. Next sale will probably wreck us.
Probably.
Just wish they'd add a door opening skill in this game.
Yeah. Automatic open doors. Atsuwato temples are kind of like that, but... Ah! Am I running out of mana and my dude's like, I gotta move.
Fuck! What
No.
the hell killed me? I'm just standing here.
I died too.
Nothing even near me, dude.
Not be fully slowed. Element. He
Whatever
doesn't
way
do
you-
anything.
The last guy must have got super buffed by killing the wrong order or some shit.
That's the problem with this kind of shit, though. Like, I get frustrated with because I can't control like where my shoots the projectiles. So if he kills something,
Yep, they're doing the
I'm
rain of
supposed-
fucking darts. Physical rain.
physical rain. You gotta stay out of the physical rain. I'm super powerful until I get to these fucking bosses, and then I just hit nukes.
Yeah, the only reason I'm able to kill Azuri is because she dies so fast, but now she's not going to die so fast because there's 2 people here.
It's kind of like my Glacial Cascade build, where I was... the only reason I was surviving was because I could kill the boss in like a second.
She's turtled up already. Holy shit.
Portables left, so don't. I almost says like feel like be careful, but it's like how? How if I get one shot by like?
Oh my god, look how slow this is. She has like 1,000 times life.
There's another guy in the party here.
Who the
Not
fuck?
in here. Let's kick him out. I invited him to sell some, but he's.
Yep, it's over. Whatever. Who the fuck? Get the fuck out of this party, you piece of shit. So it's 3 times harder because this guy was in here trading with us? Is that
gonna
why I
trade
just
with
lost my fucking...
I didn't realize like fucking. I didn't. He's not even in the fucking portal. Is it still up the fucking health of everything?
I think so. That's probably why we lost.
I mean, I just need to sell him something. Fucking hell. I didn't know it would. It was like, I'd like to buy your shit. And I'm like, okay. Fucking-
Let me lead the party then, because then I can actually kill shit.
Give some chaos so we could do that again.
No,
God damn it.
I'm good.
Such a waste of time, you know. See, but that's for people watching. That's kind of how I feel like with this game. Like end game, it's like, oh, I can do the maps, I can do all the bullshit. But then if I don't have a build that can just instantly kill everything, then I feel like I'm just kind of
Piece of
useless.
shit. I should make one of these double cast on crit builds with this essence of hysteria.
Then I want to make a really powerful build that makes this game like so easy, and then I get to level 100 and undo everything. Because I feel like every time a new league starts, it's like, nope, I don't know what's gonna be good. Let's hope this build is good. And then sometimes
Just
it's
wanna
like,
not die. I hate dying in this game. You can't make progress.
I know.
I never have a
Shit, I gotta put that thing back in the stash.
For those of you who are not familiar with the game, let me show you the infinite delve mine. You start out way up here. Like, you don't even get to the start of the delve until level 34. Monster level 34. It's the earliest you can get in the game. And it goes like straight down as you level up till you get to the end of the 10 acts of the prologue. And then level 68 is when you start doing maps, and then it kind of branches out, and you have to kind of pick your way down to get deeper. So you want to find the shafts that go like straight down, like this path right here is pretty straight. And then here I had to like branch off to the left to find some more paths that went kind of down, and you get into a dead end like this one, and you had to go back here and like go left and right and then left and then down. So you keep going down this path doing these nodes. Here's like a really straight shot I had. And then you'll come into these things called abyssal cities. They're like underground temples.
Come across quite a few of those.
Here's a special one right here. I should do this real quick just to show you. It contains physical items. So you might get something really good. Like a curse, vulnerability curse on hit ring. You get those there, I think.
Yeah. Like, be hard. It's gonna be harder for me because I don't have as much resist. Probably die coming along. But that's the kind of thing I go like. I get any XP, and then I'm like, oh, let me try this. The tier map is a little harder than I'm used to. Dead. I'm like, ah. I know that what I need to do is I need to copy what builds are most powerful, but I don't have enough money to do that, so I feel like I'm stuck. You spent so much money on all your builds, and like a lot of them are, you're just trying shit out to see what works.
Yep.
How much money do you think you've lost in just like experiment?
Oh, countless. There we go. Vulnerability on hit ring. I don't know if this other stuff's good or not. Oh, you get jagged fossils also. Here's another vulnerability. +1 saga gems on set ring. Vulnerability adds physical, adds lightning cast speed. Ooh, that might be good for that skilled lightning fizz. See, here's how you get into the game, right? Let me go to Act 6. You start theory crafting. Like, you can play the game but not even being in the game. You can be at work playing the game in your mind. Like, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that?
If I did this, that, like, combination.
So I'm trying to make a real tanky guy, and I'm gonna, like, I figured out, like, nobody knows this much, but shield charge is a really weird build. It's a really weird skill, I mean. It does more damage the farther you are away, but it also, the damage is not based on your weapon damage, it's based on the armor on your shield. So there's like 3,000 something armor shields. This does like 3 to 4 added physical per 15 armor or evasion rating, which evasion never gets nearly as high as the armor does, so you want to go by armor. 3,000 armor divided by 15 multiplied by 4. That's how much more added physical damage you could do with shield charge. Now you look over here at General's Cry, which is another skill. This one makes you summon Mirage Warriors, like 6 dudes that all use one skill one time and then they disappear. Actually, it's 5 warriors, but you can get an extra one on your helmet. So the crazy amount of damage you do with your shield charge multiplied by 5. So now it's 5 times as much because 5 guys are going to come out and shield charge. Now, you need corpses to do the General's Cry. So what you normally want to do is you'll cyclone and you'll do a summon on or cast while channeling cremation. So you'll summon dead bodies while you're spinning around. And then your General's Cry, and then all your dudes will come out and they'll do a shield charge. So if you have a ton of crit multi and a ton of crit chance, so you're critting and you're multiplying all of that extra damage and then multiply that by 5 because there's 5 guys doing it. And if you do it differently, there's a way you can get these boots that summon corpses as you run. So it summons them behind you, which means they're going to be the max distance when they shield charge, so you're going to get that maximum distance bonus on your damage too. So one guy had like 382 million DPS, I think, shield charge. And he was using this Doriani's jewel that I've been trying to make work.
Well,
And
by
he
the
was
way, I gave
converting
you
all
all
of his
those
damage to cold.
breach rings. Did you ever make anything out of those breach rings I gave you?
Yeah. It wasn't a unique though. I think I tried to sell it. This thing. Grasping mail, it made this thing. It's like a new type of armor. I guess you could just throw chaos on it, maybe get something good. I never tried.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like leave that shit up to the Zambaro or Mustache who like to do crafts and shit.
I mean, it's just regular stats on it.
If it's a grasping mail, what's its special ability? Some sort of like, does it get double stats and
It doesn't even have an
breaches
implicit
or
on it. It said something about crit chance based on your lightning damage or something. I don't know. It doesn't seem good. I'll just stick it in here for now. Anyway, the new thing I was thinking about is like making a really defensive, tanky build. So, how do you get tanky? Well, Grimro is making a video series lately that teaches you different ways to like. You put in all your inputs of your resist and your defenses and all your defensive layers, and it tells you how much damage like the boss's main hits do. Their slam attacks. So it tells you if you're going to survive a hit from them or not. And one of the things you can do is go over here to get these fortify effects, like here and here. Another thing you can do is get damage taken as mana, which is mind over matter. If you're like a Templar, you can get a skill that increases the amount of damage gets converted to mana. You can get more mana, have more area of effect with depending on how much unreserved mana you have. You can have crazy AoEs, good clear speed. So you could get tanky, but you could also clear. The problem comes down to bossing. How do you kill bosses then? I don't know. If you're doing that shield charge build I was talking about, the problem I had with that is you don't have enough life. So I kept getting one shot and just dying to random like ignites and bleeds and stuff.
You were talking about that earlier, yeah. So that's
Putting all your points into damage, you don't have any life nodes. You only have like 4,000 life. So I don't know how the guy whose build I was copying, he had like 100 life on like all of his rings, his amulets, his belts, his boots, everything had like 100 life on it, and he's only ended up with like 5,000 life because he put all his points into these cluster jewels setups. So I don't know.
Cluster Jewels is can be very powerful too if it gets some really
If you make like a
controlled.
minion build, it face rolls everything in the game until you get to Sirius, the very last boss, or Maven, and then just like it kills all your minions and you're fucked. So it's like really good for everything except the thing I want to do.
Yeah.
So
Fletching was having that problem.
So I'm looking at shield skills maybe. Like I was thinking about like a lightning attack that increases area of effect. And then I was thinking about what's that skill? Where you charge your shield up with electricity. What's that called?
Conduit or something?
No, it's your shield
Electricity,
charges.
Tempest, some sort of lightning.
Tempest shield. What is that, blue? It's a spell. It chains power of storms on your shield, dealing arcing lightning damage to attackers when you block them. So you get max block, and then it arcs. The damage is real low, though, I think. See, that's another way. That's something that's based on your defenses, though. The more your block chance is, the more you're going to arc this lightning out. It's like casting arc, kind of, if you block. Plus, if you use the... what's that shield that has like a level 30 reckoning on it? With all the
Unique shield?
One with all the hands.
All the hands on the shield? I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Look on PoE Ninja. You search for unique armor. Does it count as armor? Weapons? I don't know. I mean,
Take your
that
word
does...
for it. There's so many uniques with different like hack faces and special abilities.
I think it also recovers life when you block. I keep nerfing everything. Anytime somebody finds something good, they nerf it.
Yeah. Kind of demoralizes me a little bit. Like, I guess you're saying like that guy that makes the worm builds. Every time he doesn't get demoralized, he's like gets challenged. He's like, oh, I can see if I can figure out another way to make it work. But for the average person, where I'm like, oh, I can finally kill this one thing, and then it's like, oh, they nerfed my build. Now my talents don't even work anymore. So it's just like, eh.
Yeah, this
Especially the way this game works. They change like one little thing, it fucks up like everything else.
So that's kind of what I've been working on, trying to figure out a way to like get all of these jewel sockets to do like an abyssal jewel setup with fortify down here, and phase acrobatics and acrobatics. Then you could be dodgy and fortifying and use a lightning attack, and then use like, nah, it wouldn't work though. You can also craft items over here. So I was trying to figure out how they get like, and then some of the abyssal jewels got percent life on them, or is that regular jewels?
I think so. But I don't remember. Most stuff is just plus to life.
Jewel. Yeah, those have the percent life. Abyssal jewels can have just flat life. Or can you get percent mana on cluster jewel notables and then have just crazy more mana, which turns into mind over matter damage absorption. I don't know. What else was we going to talk about?
The alien stuff.
Skinwalker Ranch is back on.
Oh yeah? More people interested into it because it's more alien shit going on?
I guess.
Problem is, it just looks like a regular farm place. Like, I did watch Skinwalker Ranch, but it was kind of like, alright. If something destroyed your camera, well, then why don't you get more cameras?
It's kind of
More
funny.
cameras around.
They had these like heat sensors set up, and they're filming this house, the Homestead number 2. And was that the one where? No, it was before that. What happened? Ah, shit. It was on the. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna look it up. Skinwalker Ranch. Let me look at my posts, and there's my comment. Anyway, they're like looking at this house, and there's a cold spot while this rabbi's doing this stuff.
You need to bring every religion that exists in, and you can all do their version of exorcism and see which one works.
Oh, the LiDAR. They did a LiDAR scan, you know, you can like see through trees and stuff with it.
Yeah.
Like the Amazon rainforest, they found all these like
ruins and roads and stuff. That's really, really interesting,
Yeah.
actually. Did they come up with anything?
They found a spot where there was like a hole in the data, like they went inside the house, but it wasn't showing anything inside the house, like the LiDAR didn't work there for some reason. So everybody's saying like, why didn't they do another test? Like, if you have like, you know, an experiment
kinda like
or something
what
goes
Neil
wrong.
deGrasse Tyson was saying. He's like, okay, but as scientists, we don't just do one test. We do like 100 to see,
Replicate
make
it.
sure, keep replicating it.
Remember that movie where they found the alien signal and like the first thing they do was they move the satellite away from the signal to see if it goes away, and then they put it back on the signal to see if it comes back. That's how you like test stuff.
Yeah, see if
Make
it's
sure
not
it's
just interference
actually
or something.
something that you think it is. So what did they do on the show? They called a rabbi.
That sounds really stupid.
Like immediately from going from the LiDAR, like we called this rabbi. He came out and he started doing all these prayers and chanting. And then they were filming the temperature of the house, and then had like a big cold spot. Everything got cold, and they went over and investigated it, and then nothing really. I think an alien or a UFO showed up while they were doing this stuff.
He's like, hey, they're doing some scanning around our ranch or something.
There's stuff happening, but it's just like it's one
kinda
of
lame.
those kind of Oak Island shows. It's like they're trying to make a TV show more than they're trying to do research.
Yeah.
It seems like it's all those ghost shunning shows. It's all like that.
That's
Isn't
the other
that-
thing. We were talking about Oak Island. Have they found any more shit? If they didn't they should have done LiDAR on that place. See if
They
there's
found
anything
a
with-
stone road coming out of the swamp. And they keep finding all
Oh.
these ox shoes, so obviously they had ox in there hauling stuff. And then one guy, he did like a chemical test on the water that came out of the money pit area. And he said the reading they got on silver was so high that you would need like a whole room full of silver down there for it to have that reading.
And why don't they just do a giant open pit mine like those?
I think that's what they're
Just
going to
start
do.
excavating everything. Like,
Hope they do it
Well,
next year, but it might be. a
personally,
year.
this is what, like, from playing Minecraft or whatever the fuck else. I know real life's like Minecraft. Would you go to the edge of the water and you would probably build like some sort of dam and then just mine the entire island out until it's just a hole in the ground?
I think they're talking about putting these rods down to freeze the ground so that all the water down there wouldn't like come in on them and just like freeze it and then dig it out as
Yeah,
ice.
but then how much electricity you're gonna have to like put into doing that?
Or I guess you'd put liquid nitrogen maybe.
Then I don't know if you've ever tried to mine like permafrost or any of that shit. It's like really fucking tough. It's gonna freeze the ground. If this was in any other country, I feel like if it was like a dictator or something, he was like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of silver down here. Yeah, they'd be like, okay, we'll just blow it up. I don't care. It's silver. Even if you destroy the silver, it's still, I guess it's like plates and other shit, right?
There was something else I listened to, kind of on the paranormal like category, but not really. Like they thought. Remember that lost city of Roanoke, Virginia, where everybody disappeared?
Yeah.
There's a town called Edmondson, Kentucky. Not Edmonton, because that's near where I grew up. But Edmondson, I don't think it's even there anymore. I think it's all grown up in like ruins or something. And it used to be a town. And this was back during the Cuban Missile Crisis, I think. Or maybe Russia, Cold War. And everybody was worried about that happening. And this guy, he was like a mailman or something. He would visit that. He was a salesman. He went to that town every so often. And he went there and like everybody was gone. But like the food and their houses was like the only thing they could find weird was like there was no canned goods. Like everything was like rotten or whatever. They couldn't find any
right.
canned
So
goods.
they left. They just left.
Yeah, that's what they thought. Everybody had
stuff.
left, and they're looking for them. They bring in all these people, and they can't find them. And then I think years later, after it kind of grown over and stuff, they found like caves and stuff. And they figured out that these people, like the word about the Cold War, they went down into these caves and they had a cave in, trapped them all inside. So they were probably down there alive while they were searching for them, but they never found them. They probably died down there. Or this is what led to like these underground civilizations, maybe, or maybe like. Well, I
How
haven't
much
really-
you would need vitamin D, and how are you gonna get other vitamins living down there? Like
maybe they
you could
found
eat
like an
fish.
exit. Maybe they come out every so often, and that's what these like. I don't know, weird things we see are. Maybe they've mutated. I mean, there hasn't been enough time. This wasn't that long ago. Cuban
Yeah,
Missile
that
Crisis.
hasn't been hundreds or thousands of years.
They obviously haven't
Like,
evolved into like.
Walker people or something.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I can understand if there was like crab people or some sort of other humanoid. Like people say lizard people. Okay. Thing I think is like you see a lot of those people, the politicians who look kind of off. They look weird. I wouldn't say like they're aliens, but it could be. Like who's to say there isn't like races who live amongst us that aren't humans, but then they dress up to look human because there's like too many humans.
I thought you said racists.
Have to, like, blend. Racists.
There's plenty of racists that live among us.
Well, I mean, like not humans, but they're masquerading to look like humans.
Like
I don't
Steve Sutton, that guy from YouTube. Remember him?
Yeah.
See him being an alien.
But there's
He's
just
asexual.
certain people that look kind
Yeah,
of
that would make
weird.
sense.
Like you just
Of course, you're gonna say you're
It's just 'cause
asexual.
they're so
if you can't
old.
breed with humans.
maybe like, some of these politicians though, like they just like maybe they've had too many surgeries, like keep them alive and Botox and all that other shit. You're like, getting kind of an uncanny valley feeling from these people.
It's like those.
Remind me of those robots.
What are the drag queens? Why is drag queen so popular right now? Everybody's wanting to be a drag queen.
Transgender stuff mostly. But it was kind of weird because you probably don't pay attention to this, but
I saw an ad for like a Facebook.
there was like
group
drag
about
queen
being
story
a drag
time and
queen.
all that stuff, and they were
RuPaul's
like,
Drag Race.
you look it up. There's like really creepy looking drag queen kind of guys on it. Who are like, they don't even look like women. They would like become like a cosplay of a demon or something.
Yeah, their makeup is like crazy. It's like half their face is a different color, and their eyes look gigantic. And
Yeah. And then the guy
Who
that
finds
was
that attractive?
trying to push the ad initiative, that was
it's like
like
they're
a
trying
politician.
hard to look like shit. Like, why do you put so much effort into looking bad?
The thing that was kind of fucked up is there's videos of like kids or like 5 years old getting read story time, but they're all like weird transgender books, trying to like
Oh,
indoctrinate
yeah.
children to become trans. And then so the guy that was the head of this whole initiative got arrested like a month ago for being a pedophile.
Wasn't like
He was like-
5% of the population was trans, and like it wasn't enough to.
It's not even enough to make an. It's just because they're a vocal minority, right? They're like.
So they're trying to increase the number of people that have like.
Well, it's like okay.
Sorry.
You watch Louder with Crowder at all?
Yeah, used to. I see
Okay.
clips.
Yeah, you get like sued by. We're suing YouTube because they're like pulled his channel down or something. He did a thing where he like snuck into one of these people's gatherings and was like.
He dressed up like a
pretending-
woman, right?
Yeah, he dressed up as a woman and was very clearly like not a woman.
I mean, if he says he's a woman, how are you gonna prove him wrong?
Well, that's what I'm saying. These guys that run this place didn't even like question him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we have a daughter or a man who wants to become." And then there's like the old guys that they were getting like, advice from, were like, "You got to make sure they transition as soon as possible." But we're like trying to coach these parents on making like trans kids, and then you come to find out these fucking people that are trying to coax people into getting their kids transitioned are also pedophiles. So they're like. If you're thinking about a pedophile, let's say a pedophile's into something, but there's not enough of it around, they actively like try to promote transgenderism so there be more like what they're interested in, like on the internet, and like floating around. You know what I mean?
You lost me. How do you
Like,
mean?
they're promoting this transgender thing not because it's a righteous belief, because it's like a sexual thing. So like these pedophile guys are like attracted to this.
Pedophiles are attracted to transgenders?
Yeah, it's like.
What?
I was watching this study. It's like most of them are going after like, it's like the age demographic, right? It's like 13 to 18. It's like when you transition.
Oh, you mean they're trying to change them into transgenders?
Yeah.
But why?
It's like they start. But why? And it seems like more of like a sexual reason, like or something. 'Cause everything seems so sexualized with like their gay pride parades and all this other shit.
I mean,
you know
you're
what I mean?
converting them both, though. Like, say you're into little boys, and you're turning little girls into little boys, but you're also turning little boys into little girls. So, like, you still got
Yeah.
the same amount of boys as you started with. What's the fuck's the point of it?
I don't know. It seems so weird because it's like.
Well, it's like that Ellen Page turning to Elliot Page. We were talking about this in my other Discord.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have a crush on Ellen Page. Does that make me gay now? Because now she's been a guy the whole time, right?
I don't know.
I
'cause
mean,
it seems like
I'm not buying that she's a dude. I heard her, like,
Yeah.
you watch her interview with Ellen. She's talking about, like, oh, I really had to be alone with myself and really think about my feelings and who I am and all this. That's not stuff a guy would say. You're fucking a girl still.
Yeah,
You just
pretty
cut your
much.
hair. And I
Yeah,
guess
it's
she
like,
got her tits cut off, and she's like had her first photo with swim trunks and like having no boobs. But she didn't have any boobs to begin with.
She was already super petite, right? What's like.
Yeah.
Maybe she was already on that precipice, but you go from like a chick that was like, there's women who look like bimbo, like the bimbo giant lips and all that stuff. Then like you don't see a bimbo version of guys walking around though, right? If a bimbo was going to be like, I want to be a dude, would you still look like a bimbo, or would you just?
What are you talking about? Like massive balls?
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's like the alternate version of that. I don't know. It's just a
Chad.
certain stereotype.
Bodybuilder
I
chads.
guess. Yeah,
Skinny legs, giant upper torso.
I've seen quite a few of those guys.
Have you seen that
pretty
picture
silly.
of the guy who played Thor walking with his daughter? Look like he skipped leg day.
Oh no.
Oh, let me see if I can find it.
Most stupid thing I just read recently was there was a woman who wanted a divorce with her husband because the husband won't take his mask off ever. He's like afraid to take it off, or he'd lift it up to eat, and he'd refuse to take his mask off while
Look
they
at
had
his photo.
sex. I was like, what?
Look at massive
you put it?
arms, tiny little legs.
Where'd you put it?
It's on the stream.
I don't see it on the stream. Maybe it's catching up.
Oh, that's not sharing my screen anymore. No.
Oh yeah, leg day. Look how fucking.
The male bimbo right there.
Yeah, basically. Look at how jacked his arms are, and then his legs are like as skinny as almost as skinny as his wrist. It looked like at some points. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I don't go for like the big Kim Kardashian asses either. I don't get it. Maybe if you're a black guy and you got a 3 foot long dick and you can't reach, you got room for like. I think PKA was talking about this, like chicks with fat asses that just all squishes up when you push against it. It's like it's not actually in the way.
It's not actually in the way. Yeah, but there is chicks who will go out of it the way to get butt implants. So it's like an actual silicone implant.
Oh, that would be.
You'd have it in your boob, like your boob rests would be in your ass. And it makes me feel like that would be so. Wouldn't that be uncomfortable to sit on?
Oh, that'd be
feel
comfy, probably.
Seems kind of, you know what I mean? It's like, well, you see certain women, they go through the beautification process, and they look like they've been beat up afterwards. They're all like black eyes and broken nose looking from their nose job, and their face is all like sunken in and bruised to hell.
I don't know. The drag queen seems different from the trans thing, because trans is more like, I don't know, the drag queen is like, it's like all makeup-y and stuff.
Well, yeah, maybe I could find you like a video reference. There was something, Alex Jones was talking about it, and then people were like,
I mean, there's so many like seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, how is it so popular that everybody's watching this show?
the thing that was like the one thing was like RuPaul went to meet this like young drag queen, so it's like a lot of these young boys that are, I don't know if they're gay or whatever, or like instead of being gay they're transitioning into women, and then they're having regrets afterwards because they're actually gay. They're not women.
What if they are the aliens and they're trying to convert humans into something that they can mate with, or something that turns
With
them
them
on?
surgeries or something. Yeah, I don't know, because you've seen some of the stuff. Like there's that one guy who wanted to become like a genderless alien, but he was
Yeah.
like, it's kind of weird shit like that.
There's another theory I've had. What if Japanese people are aliens and they don't even know it?
Or it's like, what if different races, like you were talking about, what if this planet's like a zoo for all these different animals, and like humans.
But think about it. Japanese people, they're really respectful. They're not like everybody else, right? And what are they into? Squids and octopus porn. Tentacles. What if
I was talking to Fly Jim about that, and he was telling me it's that because their society is so sexually repressed.
What if they have like an octopus alien type thing inhabiting them in their body? It's
Like parasite monsters.
like they've combined with humans at some point, but they haven't like crossed over to everybody else yet. And that's
Well, I
why
wonder-
they also come up with technology before everybody else. They invent robots and stuff. They're smart.
They're always like pushing the envelope. Like you look how small their country is compared to the U.S. And then during World War II, they were like an adversary that was like a pain in the ass to deal with. Like during World War II, the Chinese got invaded by the Japanese, and the Japanese like slaughtered everybody in their path, just cutting like a swath straight to the capital.
They're
of China.
obsessed with monsters coming out of cracks in the ocean, like Godzilla. Maybe that's how they got here, through a portal in the ocean, like Pacific Rim. They're trying to tell us subconsciously through movies. Gojira! That's what they are. They're telling us what they really look like. Maybe. Kind of like the Goa'uld from Stargate. Like they had lizards inside of them. Yeah, like eels.
Okay, so this is what kind of irks me, okay? You got this kind of shit. I'll link it in Discord. Just look at the thumbnail. Is that enough? RuPaul meets Desmond. So Desmond is amazing. He's like 7 or 8 years old, and he wants to be a drag queen. And his mom's just letting him do this kind of stuff. And he's dressing up as all these sexualized clothing, and getting like walking up and down the aisle in New York City's like drag con, which is like, why are we allowing this kind of stuff? This seems like too far. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think I might have seen this.
Look at the way he's standing there. He's got his hand on his hip. It's like RuPaul's holding his hand.
What are they excited about? It's just the back of a dress. Is it because it's got his face on it?
No, but it's like sexualized though. Like some of this kid's been like.
Well, it's genderized. It's not sexual because he's he's covering everything up.
In this video, he is. Like when he was let me look it up. I think it's this. Yeah, it was like RuPaul meets Desmond is amazing.
That's his name. Desmond is amazing.
Yeah, that's his tag or stage name or whatever.
Oh yeah. What happened to that James Charles guy? Didn't he get in trouble? Got banned or something? Like I know he's on one of those Rise and Fall videos or something.
Yeah, this guy, Hunter Avenue, which I watch sometimes, but I don't always like it. He came out with this video. It was like the shocking truth about Desmond. So his mom's like one of these crazy pretty much. I don't know. You could see his mother. His mother was promoting him, like trying to sexualize her kid, essentially. And when I say sexualized, like there's Desmond Amazing does like, weird here. Yeah, he's doing this shit. This is what I'm seeing. I'll delete this other one.
It's like, what would you say you do from Office Space?
Yeah. Performance of Just a Girl, no doubt, by 11 years old. He's like all dressed up with mascara and lipstick on. And he's running around the stage to takes his shirt off, you know. And then he's walking up to grown men who are handing him money for like strip dance.
How naked does he get? First of all.
How much money he's getting, but it just comes off as being like, this seems like no worse or as bad as like those pageant contents, you know. You get those creepy old guys that are like the judges for 8-year-old girls.
Yeah, tell us which 8-year-old is hotter, 50-year-old man.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It's
And
like
then
you
let's
see in
go
this
kill
kind of stuff.
pedophiles after we get done here because we're all against it.
Yeah.
Like, something's not adding up. I don't think you know what this word means. You keep saying this word.
Yeah, that's what I kind of see, because it's like, well, you saw that. Did you see that Netflix? Like, people gave it a lot of shade because it was fucked up. Because there was a Netflix documentary called Cuties that came out, and everyone
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's basically like sexualized pageantry stuff, and it got
Oh, booty
nuked off
shaking,
like
booty
Netflix,
dancing.
and they had to like apologize for it and all this other stuff. But it was like one of those weird woke kind of leftist things that was pushed. And then when everyone else saw it, we were like, what the fuck is, why would you do this?
Oh.
I just feel like maybe, because I've seen with a lot of the leftist propaganda, and it depends in your country, it's more so in mine, because I think they push the transgender stuff here now. But like the problem with the transgender stuff that I have is that they're like targeting children. Like when I was 8 years old, I was playing World of Warcraft. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted. I didn't know if I wanted to be a girl or a boy. I thought Santa Claus still existed back then, you know? So it just feels like for kids that go through this transition or whatever, it just seems like you're putting too much decision making on like a child.
Let's just talk about sex in
What I
general,
mean-
first of all, because in our society, sex is presented as a bad thing, usually. But why should it be? The only reason it's bad is if you get somebody pregnant or they have a disease, right?
Yeah, yeah. it's
But if
like,
you're rich enough, if you're a rich person, you can afford to pay for a kid you have accidentally, then what's the downside of having sex?
I think it's because most of our government and society is based off like a very conservative kind of Christian values kind of foundation, and that's kind of.
But that's in the Bible, like, go forth and prosper and be fruitful and, make more people to worship me and all this kind of shit. So it doesn't...
It is true. You're true. Like, it depends what kind, because I've seen like, okay, so there's some movies I'm seeing where you could sound like people like act like, oh my god, you got my girl pregnant, like you're a terrible person, or the girl is then seen as by the parents as being like, you're a whore, whatever, right? So it's like, I guess it depends on like the social values of your family. I mean,
But then as soon as they have a baby, the grandparents love that fucking baby once their kids have another kid. It's like, he jizzed inside her, right? Oh, yeah, it's fine, though. They have a cute baby now. Like, I was looking at somebody's baseball game earlier, like a fucking toddler. He wasn't even a toddler. He was like an infant. And they were just like, look how cute this infant is. I'm like, you just jizzed in her, right? Like 9 months ago. That's all I think of, though. I see a baby, like, oh, somebody just got fucked. Or it's like as soon as you get married, it's like parents were totally against their kids having sex, but once they go up before a priest and they get married, it's like, oh, fuck the shit out of her. Come inside of her as fast as you can. We want a baby.
Yeah, I do see
That's
that.
weird.
It's always
That's
very
totally weird.
like, especially Mormons and stuff. They're always like have 8 or 12 kids with like 4 wives or something, and
Flagen just appeared with a baby photo. What is this about?
isn't it him again? He was like a kid.
What's up, Flagen?
We were just doing a podcast talking about all sorts of shit.
Man, like stream started 2 hours ago. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Gotta eat some food. Some Wendy's chili here.
Ah.
Pretty good. Yeah, I just got back from Vegas. Shit was crazy as fuck.
What happened in Vegas? Oh, I guess you can't tell me.
I
Fuck.
got
They're
fucking
shooting or something.
They didn't tell me what kind of show this was, but I got sucked into a show. What the
You
fuck?
go to like drag queen show or some bullshit.
It's supposed to stay in Vegas, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean a show?
That's what I said.
Like a theater
some
show?
donkey show or some bullshit.
Man, they were like, oh yeah, the show, it's at this fucking museum. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go with you guys.
What happened?
I get there. I'm trying to eat my chili here.
Take your time. No hurry. I'm just doing a podcast.
I get there and it's a fucking at this like erotic museum or some shit in Vegas, right? I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but whatever. There's like shit tons of gay people everywhere. I'm like, whatever, who gives a fuck? Didn't really think anything of it. I'm just like, I'm just here, just hanging out.
Okay. Did you say that to them? Man, shit tons of gay people here. Okay, I'm just gonna hang out.
Bathroom. Like, I was trying to use the bathroom, and there was like some guy I thought it was like the butler guy or something, because he just had like a vest on. It looked like one of those people that was like gonna serve you fucking like little tiny foods on a fucking plate or something, but it wasn't that.
Yes.
It was like, oh yeah, this is the line for the bathroom. You want to come in? I'm like,
It's on my flashlight.
oh, I'm good. I'm going outside.
This is the line for the bathroom? Ew.
When somebody
Anyway.
busts, we kick him out and somebody else comes in. Got a 50-man orgy going on here. Once we're under
something
capacity,
like that.
you can come on in and join us.
I still don't know what the fuck the show's about. I'm just standing there waiting around with fucking these two other people. And then the show's like, is like, okay, we're seating for the show. I'm like, okay, cool. See like the VIP people in the front. We're like in like 5th row or some shit. And this like person comes out and like, hey, this is Karen. I don't remember what her name is. And she's the fluffer.
Oh,
I was like, okay, what the fuck's
it
going on?
really was a
Fluffer, the
50-man
fuck's a
orgy.
fluffer?
What?
So you stayed, right?
I mean, she was really funny because she was like just there as like a comedian, pretty much. Like they called her the fluffer, but she was just there like.
Wait, so it wasn't like a big orgy then?
No,
Did you get your dick sucked or what's going on here?
no.
Wouldn't trust it though. It'd be a bunch of like.
So she was up there just doing like comedy. She was really funny, whatever. And then like these other people come out, they're like wearing capes and shit. I'm like, what is this fucking thing? Like the big fucking
Some eyes wide
back
shut
wall.
shit going on.
Just suddenly just dicks. I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
What?
It was like puppet fucking dick show or something where people were like making their dicks into like puppets and shit. I guess it was like world famous. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What, they had puppets on their real dicks?
Because people were like, okay, we're gonna do like a roll call. Where's all the ladies or something? And all these fucking bitches start screaming and shit in the audience. And then they're like, where's all the gay people? All these fucking people start screaming and shit. I'm like, okay, what the fuck's going on here? And then like, oh, for all the straight men out there, it was like me and one other guy. I was like, what the fuck, dude?
They signaled out the gays. They're like, "We're gonna make you gay today."
Like, I see your fucking girlfriend or wife's pulled you here, huh? Like, yeah. It was like just a fucking just dick show, literally is what it was.
So you saw dicks?
The whole show was just dicks.
It wasn't
So-
puppets that looked like dicks, it was people's dicks.
It was
out.
like people's dicks that they were like folding up into the shape of like, here's a hot dog, here's a sombrero, here's a fucking hamburger. Here's
He's
a
like,
fucking.
How do you fold your dick into a hamburger? What are you talking about?
I did a tutorial on it. I'll try to find it. Hold on.
I can't
A
show it on the stream.
tutorial?
What was this even called?
Why? Because they were like flaccid or something, and they're just smushing their dicks together. So do they go to the extent of like drawing on their dicks, put a little mustache on there, put a little hat on them, and like some.
They had like a little like
Foxes and
prop of
some
like.
other-
There was this one. They had like a prop of like Miley Cyrus. It was like I came in like a wrecking ball, and it was like on the guy's balls. I was like, what the fuck?
We hit her in the face with his purple. Okay, that's
Okay, it was
not
called
what I
this.
expected to hear.
It was called Puppetry of the Penis.
Okay.
That's the name of the
Hi.
show. Just Google
The
that.
thing it's like right after COVID, and everyone's like, "Yeah, fuck masks. We're just gonna
Oh,
get our
there's a-
dicks out."
There's a Wikipedia. There you
Of
go.
course there is.
Um,
Of course there is.
there you go.
If you can make this relate back to
I probably
aliens somehow.
wouldn't click the link to YouTube because if you're streaming, it might be dicks.
There's already dicks in the fucking thumbnail. Look
I'll
at these
check it
guys
out
go-
later, right before I go to bed.
What? What in the fuck? Is this what you saw? These guys are like in their
That's what I saw, yeah.
50s.
There's like
They just look
some old guys with
just old guys. He's like,
look at the list
crouching
of
there,
tricks. Look at the list of the fucking tricks. They call them tricks where they're like,
known as dick tricks.
Shit was ridiculous.
Requests for live demonstrations, man. And he finally decided to do it. Wouldn't you get like? I can see the guy's head of his penis like in the middle of his hands there, and what? He's like fucking around with his dick.
Should we go ahead and end the stream then, or
Don't look at that in the stream, my dude.
do we have any more alien stuff or game stuff to talk about?
What else happened? I mean,
Oh my god.
I didn't even know what the fuck that was about. Apparently, they pay like $50 for my ticket. I'm like, what the fuck?
$50 go see some old man playing their dicks? Are you kidding me?
That's how these gay people have nice houses all the time.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Saw a gay
It
woman
almost
at
makes me
Walmart
want
I
to
used
throw
to
up
work
just because
with.
it's so stupid.
Can't remember her name.
Shit was crazy.
You're gay, ain't you, put? You be gay? Yeah. See?
Well, before you came in, we were just talking about like aliens and all sorts of like. These people are getting all these plastic surgeries, looking like weirdos all the time, and getting like farther and
Oh, I
farther
saw a
away.
bunch of that shit that like dude, Vegas is fucking just full of those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're talking about Louder with Crowder went to this place and was talking to these old men that were in there that were like the coordinators of the event.
Yeah.
They're talking about you got to get these kids young and turn them when they're young and all this other stuff. You got to wait for their penises to grow to a certain length before you do it because you'll.
Yeah, they were talking
It
about
was
that shit
like-
on the radio. Like,
It was like, ugh.
we need to give these kids puberty blockers because they can decide later on which gender they want to be. I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. You end up getting like your growth gets all stunted, right? And you kind of look all fucked up or uncanny valley later on.
Uncanny valley of a person.
You know what I mean by that, right?
Mhm.
A person, you look at a person, you're like, you don't fit. You don't look like a regular
Mark
person.
Zuckerberg, you're like-
Something's off.
Like that.
Wait a minute, are
Mark
you a
Zuckerberg's
robot?
like
You know who he
robot
looks
trying to look
like?
him.
He looks like Data from Star Trek Next Generation.
He does.
He does.
Like his
See?
eyes, right? Like something about it. I don't know.
Something in his eyes, like he always kind of had crazy eyes, like a lot of these other.
You guys seen the new Ford F-150 Lightning?
Yep.
You can apparently use it as a generator for your house for like 3 days. Just like run off the
Plug the
truck.
house in and shit. Pretty cool. Actually, not a bad price for it too. And that's before any of the like tax rebates or whatever. So it ended up being like 35,000 probably. It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, I don't know. Was it because in Canada they were talking on the radio about how
Me and a friend at
Wanna-
work. We've been doing
We're
the
gonna
Elon Musk laugh, where he goes ha 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 ha. We start laughing like that now.
But, yeah.
oh, Jesus.
Does he have like Asperger's or something?
Yeah, he said it on his.
Oh, oh.
It was on Joe Rogan's when he was talking about it. He's like, yeah, I got Asperger's, and he thought he was crazy when he was younger because he would have all these like ideas, and then when he would explain his ideas to other people, they had no idea what he was talking about. It made him like really depressed.
I guess he's like one of the most detail-oriented persons like ever.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that might be
designer.
kind of
Talking about it.
problematic. Like if you were his kid and he's constantly trying to micromanage you and shit, like that may be annoying.
He only has the one kid that's like, what's his name?
AEX 12, something like that.
Yep.
Makes me wonder if the kid was like bioengineered or something. Sounds like a test tube baby name or something.
You guys were talking about the aliens, like the fucking Navy videos and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched a bunch of those, and the Pentagon's supposed to be releasing a bunch of shit at the end of the month, right?
Supposed to, yeah.
Some sort of
Well, I
6-month
don't
window or
like
something.
how like it's the only videos of UFOs you can find now. It seems like
Or from the Navy, right?
Maybe. I don't think
Or
I
at all. It used to be all those. Remember the Galactic Civilization? What was it called? It's
Yeah.
Federation of Light. Galactic Federation of Light. Used to be all those lights up in the sky. You can find videos of crazy shit. Black Knight.
Yeah, there's like a
satellite.
lot of those videos. It's like I don't see them as much anymore. Did they get deleted or something? Or
Yeah, remember that one where the UFO came swooping down from the mountains and like made like a big Nike swoosh? It was like so fast they had to slow it down in slow motion to even see it. And like that video's gone now. I don't even know how to find it.
Shia LaBeouf came out and said, "Just do it."
Oh, that's right. I was watching a video the other day about that, where 4chan had keep fucking with his flag. Like
The
every
flag.
time he'd put it somewhere new,
I remember that
and
shit.
they'd like fly drones around looking for it.
They
We
used
had it
the
to get
flight,
camp,
the
Oh,
flight
yeah.
pass,
Yeah,
and the fucking alignment of
align them into the
stars
stars.
and shit, and they're like,
And they were
yep.
getting better at it. Like the third time he did it, they waited in the live stream. And they're like, okay, we'll just wait until the sun sets because we can see the sunlight coming through the window. And as soon as they noticed the sun was setting, they're like triangulated it where it is, and they're like, okay, it's in northern Europe. Like, we'll go there. Like, holy shit!
That's
Some dedication.
Weaponized autism, dude.
Yeah, they took
You
drones.
could
to
run
it
the
and, like,
stream on like a delay and not telling people how big the delay is. Then you
Like the picture of the flag, it was just like a camera facing upwards. So all you could see was like the sky. That was it.
and then they
found
wait
the
for a
fucking
plane to
location of
fly
it.
over, and they're like, "What's this plane?" And then they cross-referenced all of these planes' trajectories with like the real trajectories. Like there's a map of it all. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we figured out where it is." And then they took like a vehicle to the actual area and blared their horn to see if they could hear it on the live stream radio.
They were using the Doppler effect of the fucking horn, like coming at the camera versus going away from it.
Yeah. There's like all this amazing shit they did just to like fuck with Shia LaBeouf.
Have you seen that guy that plays GeoGuessr and he can get a perfect score usually every time? And like people just send him photos of themselves and he can
Yeah, it's
just
pretty much like that
figure
game.
out where they're at in
Remember
the world.
Like we used to play that game. Is it called GeoGuessr? Where you
Yeah, but he like knows exactly where you are.
It's kind of fucked up.
I mean, he does spend some time looking for street names and stuff. Like he doesn't instantly know, but he's really good. It's like this looks like southern Argentina. Yep. This looks like the Isle de Menavive or something.
like the shape of the mountain.
Has
Yep.
that, yeah, like the bay. This has a weird inlet right here. I've seen this before. It's over here in Greece.
Maybe there's only like a
Macedonia.
certain limited number of like locations that it has.
I
Just playing it so
guess.
much.
I know Brazil's big. I guess Austin's just bailing, not even telling us anything. Alright then. Austin just left.
He just got up out of his chair.
Yeah. I'm sitting here dying to pee. He's like, I'm out.
Nature calls.
Alright, I guess we'll end the stream then. See you guys next time on Random